No.
Okay, so what happened last session, guys?
We died.
Yeah, we
I don't
all
think
we
that's true.
we set up the meeting at the menagerie,
Yeah.
and we slept in the house, and I got the shit kicked out of me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Torgan had a bit of a bad time.
W healed all.
We also got rid of, what was his name, Bolsan's body, which took way
Yes.
longer than it should have, but
Bolson's body was disposed of in a interesting manner.
Religious manner.
It
You
was
want to call it that?
If you can even call the twins a religion.
Oh, shots
oh.
fired. Don't let the priesthood hear you say that.
They will probably literally hang you.
Well, having I suppose the most logical place to start would be after you guys looted the bodies from last time. I assume you just kind of left them there.
As we so often do.
Yeah, and just sort of finished out your rest, and then just sort of collectively decided that you would deal with it in the morning.
Yeah. We let
All right.
pile them in the one corner. It's like the feces corner where we all sit and pee.
It's the corpse corner.
It's the chamber pot corner and corpses.
Yep.
Yeah, now
Yep.
including corpses.
Now including corpses, and they probably have soiled themselves because when you
Oh,
died, you lose
load.
control of your
We
bodily
can give
functions. Anyway,
Give them to the lizards next door. That's what we'll do.
that would be, yeah.
Sounds like a plan.
So, morning brings a new announcement by the Demosia Anakasi. A little bit more distant than when you were at the palace, but nonetheless, the voice carries quite well over the rooftops. And it reads as follows.
The assassin responsible for the murder of Steward Cosmas has been apprehended. He shall face Chimera's justice following the funerary ceremony of the steward. Effective immediately, the scaled quarter is closed to all individuals who do not have permanent residence within. Violators shall be imprisoned. By the order of Emperor Jan II, all Osmani vessels must vacate the harbor by nightfall 2 days hence. Any ships remaining after this time shall have their cargo seized and their crews imprisoned. Long live the Emperor, and may the twins preserve us all.
Well, it sounded like Vasim's fucked.
Sorry, 1 second.
Hmm.
Okay. Alright. So wait, did they say that no one... Those who don't have permanent residence, they said cannot leave or cannot enter?
I think they're just not supposed to be in here.
I see. Either way, I think it's probably best if we get out of here now, but at the same time we also have to schedule our appointment with, what's his name? Torvald? Or Yosus?
Yosus.
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 Yes, Yosus. He said come back in the daytime, yes? Or am I assuming that is wrong?
No. We should make it quick.
Alright. Then let us head over there. Let's just remember the plan. The plan was our friend Boyce here is trying to immigrate into the Empire,
Indeed.
which makes our circumstances a little bit easier considering as how that's become significantly more difficult
Of course.
as of literally a few days ago. And on the rest we kind of just improvise from there, I guess. We're just trying to find information, pretty much, so. Worst comes to worst, we take him out and then just search the place.
Okay.
Unless anyone is
fair.
opposed.
No, not opposed. But like yesterday, we should deal with these bodies. However, I'm feeling like we should let the neighbors feast a little. Maybe.
I agree.
Get some rep in the neighborhood.
I think I'd rather just somebody find it. If they happen to be the ones that do, so be it. I'm kind of done trying to get rid of bodies at this point.
Alright, but the smell.
They'll do what they wish with the building. I mean, we're not going to be staying here anymore. And I look over at Torgan just to make sure.
I just, yeah. You can kind of tell, just visually, I don't want to be there anymore.
He is straight shooketh.
Mm-hmm.
Got a 1,000-yard bird stare.
Well, it
All
might be
right.
nice to let the lizards know it's there on our way out.
If we bump into them.
I have a feeling they're going to start like getting very angry at us or something because we keep on coming back to them, telling them that there's dead bodies inside of the same.
I don't disagree with that.
You make a persuasive point.
So I say we just let them find it on their own. I don't know that it's particularly our business
Okay.
anymore.
You've changed my mind.
It's like, what is that, the
Definitely.
13th this week?
It's crazy how little it means to them, though.
This is true. This is also very true.
For
But then again,
them,
you know, their
more
culture is
meat.
their culture, and I don't judge.
More meat for the meat god.
Meatus,
meat god.
beatus.
I judge.
What?
Me too.
Oh, I see. Apologies, the way you phrased that made it sound like you weren't finished with your sentence. That's not even an insult, I legitimately thought that for a moment.
All right, to the menagerie then. Let's get on. Let's get on with it.
Aye.
Onward, boys.
I need to pull up our meeting again. Fuck.
So, you retrace your route in the daytime. It's a little easier to navigate this time around because obviously the light of the sun helps a great deal. And as you depart, this sort of early-ish in the morning, maybe 8-9 a.m., the lizard folk are setting up their stalls for the day, and as you pass several of the plazas, you see a number of non-lizard folk individuals pretty hastily closing up shop. People who had stalls and less permanent installations around are very rapidly packing everything up and attempting to get out of the scaled quarter.
Ooh.
Eventually, just as last night, your route brings you to the doors of Tisfall's Menagerie.
Tits falls, that's what it was. Alright, I mean, everyone ready?
Let's see what this place has in store for us.
Just give it a good old knock, good old college knock.
All right, you rap on the door, and the slider opens. You can recognize the same pair of eyes and skin tone that looked out at you last night. And so the slat opens, these eyes scan you up and down for a moment. The slat closes and the door opens.
We enter.
So
I
you,
enter, at least.
yeah, I assume everybody.
I'll follow behind you. Yeah.
So you step into what is a deceptively large space. Outwardly, it looked ramshackle and run down, but inside, it is much better kept than what it may have first appeared. The ground floor is dotted with tables and booths around the outer edges, save a long wet bar on the right side, which is being tended by 2 lizard folk, one on either end. Even this early in the day, the place is bustling. There are a number of lizard folk conversing in their native tongue to each other, sort of their hisses and clicks making a small din, small racket that seems reminiscent of a swamp, almost. You are led to a staircase, which brings you up to the second floor, which is not a complete floor. It's almost more like a balcony that rings the outer edge. The center is open and allows you to look down onto the first floor. The second floor is furnished similarly to the first, with tables around close to the railing and booths on the outside. The outer edges. Again, most of them full, despite, you would think that people wouldn't be drinking this early in the day, but here you are. You are led to a table at the center of one of the rails that gives you a rather commanding view of the establishment. You can see the door now off to your left if you were to look down into the space. So the lizard folk takes you to this table and sort of gestures, and I assume you guys take your seats.
Mhm.
And before he returns to his duties, he looks at you all and says, "Beverages?"
I didn't know. Yes.
He'll take an ale. I'll take a wine.
I'll take a wine as well.
I will have water.
Of course he would.
He was nodding wordlessly at everyone else, but when he hears water, he kind of goes, "All right," and returns. Torgan, you do notice that you're getting some looks.
I am petrified.
Dude, they're like dinner's back on the menu, boys.
Looks like meat's back on the menu, boys.
No, I am.
There's a whole bucket to fill up over there.
Yeah. My feathers are quite ruffled at the moment.
You are getting some looks. So the lizard folk disappears back down the stairwell, and you kind of take in the atmosphere of this place. Once again, the native tongue of the lizard folk is foreign to almost all of you because it's this odd combination of hisses, clicks, and a few trills.
Actually, I know lizard. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay. Okay, boomer.
Actually, I just took the linguist feat and learned lizard folk. I know I haven't brought it up any other time in this campaign, but I learned it in the span of 3 hours while we slept.
Anthemius and Voice take 1d100 unaspected damage.
I deflect. It just so happens I took a feat that deflects 1d100 aspect.
No shit, I just rolled 100.
Mildly
I
impressed.
just rolled 100.
So I would be dead times dead. Times
Dead.
dead.
Mega dead.
Dead squared.
Giga dead.
Anyway. You're just kind of chilling. No sign of this Yosu's, or indeed no indication that there is anything amiss here other than nothing. It seems like a normal, respectable establishment.
There's no Osmani man in the corner.
Yeah, may I
like-
do a perception or something and see if there's anyone interesting around us, or no? Is that not?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, always.
Okay.
There will be very rare occasions where you can't do something.
Okay. So when I do a check, I'm gonna keep forgetting how to do this stuff. So
It's just 1d20 plus
Okay.
plus your ability score,
Yeah.
plus your proficiency for the skill if you have proficiency.
Yeah. So are you proficient in the perception?
I'm not
skill?
proficient in perception, but I rolled 17, and my
Okay.
modifier for wisdom, right,
Mhm.
is +1, so 18.
Already. So you are taking in your surroundings a little more keenly than the others, and as you scan the upper balcony and then sort of lean over the railing to assess the ground floor, this place is filled entirely with lizard folk. There is not a human or indeed any other sort of species around in this place. This table that you're sitting at is the odd one out in that regard.
And this is quite the reptile exhibit, isn't it, you guys?
That would be racism, my friend.
I'd like to have said that under my breath, by the way.
Get out a megaphone, cast thaumaturgy. Hey guys, she's quite one petting zoo.
Or the crocodile house.
Hey,
now.
Nick. Kind of out of character. What kind of instrument do you have? Don't you have one?
An ocarina?
Okay.
Would you like to hear my song?
No, absolutely not. I was
Damn
wondering
you.
if I was wondering if I could play an instrument of yours, but I cannot play an ocarina as I do not have lips.
Yeah, you are. Is that going to
Okay.
be your next? Is that going to be your next request from Hagrork?
No, I'll just buy an instrument.
Could you give me lips, Papa?
What?
Bird lips, please.
So at this point, the server returns, or a different server this time. One of the bartenders comes up with a tray and sets down your wine and your ale and a ladle of water for Torgen. Yeah,
Just a ladle?
yeah.
I guess I have to drink it because I can't set it down.
All these cups that keep
It's-
buckets.
Ladle is perhaps the wrong word.
It's like a cup-like ladle. I don't know if you've ever seen them before.
Yeah.
But like,
It takes the form of a ladle, but it stands on its own. It's
Okay.
pretty clear that they just went over to a big bucket that had some water and just kind of like took out the ladle.
So
it.
it's basically a cup with a long handle on it?
Pretty much.
Okay.
Pretty much.
That's fine. I'll just
the,
set it
the
there.
ladle here looks like ladle.
The rest of you have relatively unadorned tankards, and the server turns to leave, and boys, only boys, you hear in your head, so, you wish to smuggle family into the city.
Should I actually respond with English, or how do I respond?
You are magically inclined, so you would know that this is a message spell.
Okay.
Does
which
message
means-
trans what's it called?
Does it translate through Gnomish, or because the whole idea is that I'm speaking Gnomish and trying not to deceive this
Because
person?
I know telepathy like breaks any language barrier. I don't know if that you'd know if it were message, if it were the same message.
Can I just like babble Gnomish back to it, or should I?
You just think a bunch of Gnomish nonsense.
Or does he just understand me through like telepathy or something? Like, does it not matter? Is what I'm saying basically.
It does not matter. You
Okay.
know that if you were to respond, it would be comprehensible despite the language barrier.
Okay, good. That's the question I had. Okay. Yes, my friend, I'm looking to smuggle family. Straight from Berdvisi and Demos.
Why?
Life there is oppressive for the deep gnome. Smuggling them here might be a little easier now that the war is over.
I see. But why the Comnenites?
The Comnenites can be easy to get along with. City is full of diverse people. Trickier to
Very
get
well.
passage to El Hajjad.
And this company that you keep, your bodyguards?
Escorts in a way. Couple of sailors I met. The one, very good at navigating. I do not know
Make-
this city. It's tricky for me to meet people.
Do a deception check. For, not just for your compatriots, but also for the whole. Want to
Yeah,
get my
just the whole
family in the
plot.
city. Yeah, just the whole thing.
11.
It's
I
not
have
terrible,
no plus or
but-
minus. Wait, no, it's mine. Yeah, 11. 11.
These family large.
Small in size. Stature. Gnomes, you know?
Of course.
Do I notice at this point that he seems occupied with something, boys?
Go ahead and do.
That's a good point.
Check
I'm gonna like tug on his sleeve and be like,
probably not perception, but I don't know, investigation maybe.
Voice is like, hey guys, I'm hearing voices again.
No, you know what? I think that would be perception to notice that he is just
Yeah.
kind of. In
I would
the middle
say
of a
so.
mental conversation.
Yeah.
First roll of the night. That is a 2 plus
Oh.
4. That is a 6.
Wow.
Voice is enjoying his drink.
like looking deeply in my
Why
ale.
wouldn't he be?
to you, Anthemius. I'd say this is a situation where everyone can roll if they want to, because it's
Yeah, I would also
it's
like
an
to.
individual rather than.
Yeah, why not? I'll roll for that. Let's see. 18 plus 1, that's 19.
All right, Nick, you are a little more observant than then
Your
your
boy.
Our
then
buddy
your
Endymius.
compatriot here, you noticed that he's voice, well, no sound is, he is emitting no sound. You can see that his lips are moving ever so slightly, as if he were in conversation. His brow is just a little furrowed.
I'm just schizophrenic.
Is everything okay, boys? You seem a little preoccupied. Deep in
Can I
thought?
continue? Could say that. I think our man is trying to reach out.
At this point, Nick, you hear in your head, so, how much does this gnome pay you?
I wish you paid me. I don't get pay. We're acquaintances at this point.
And what business does a satyr have throwing in with a gnome?
The adventure, really. I was getting bored with my life. I saw opportunity with this gnome. As well as with the rest of this party, for lack of a better word.
Your kind enjoys adventures, do they?
I do. My kind? I would say yes, but my father would say no.
Is this a group call?
No, it is, Boyce, you no longer.
It's just a
I'm
group call,
tearing
that's
up
awesome.
A little bit, hearing about your struggle with your father. Like,
After you revealed that somebody was talking in your head, you no longer heard the voice.
okay.
Interesting. At this point, Torgan,
Yes.
in your head, you hear, it's a rare enough thing that the prey ventures to the den of the predator.
Yes.
Oh.
And what business do you have with this deep gnome?
Hold on, so this is telepathy, right?
Yeah.
Basically.
As much as I can know. So can't
can
you
just speak
think
perfectly.
fluently, right?
Yeah, you can just
They
think
just
fluently.
can't speak fluently because they
Yeah.
use mimicry. So I could.
So,
For the first time.
Yeah, you should do
Oh,
like a
this is
perfect
weird.
British accent and talking all high science, like.
so what does Torgan think he sounds like?
Oh no!
This is even.
This is too soon.
He didn't. He didn't think
Hold
this
on.
far.
Hold on, you gotta give me a minute.
All right. In that case, we're gonna retcon that just a little bit. Anthemius,
Okay.
in your head, you hear. Something
Damn,
is
baby,
off
you
in your
looking fine.
presentation. You appear to me as a human, but I see something more.
Oh yes.
Regardless, what business does someone of your stature have throwing in with these shorties?
Hey, fuck you, man!
with such diminutive company?
Anthemius just kind of like gives a little laugh. He's like, that's not how this works, my friend. You don't get to know everything about us, and we don't get to know and not give us any information about yourself. I have a feeling that this deal is beginning on the wrong foot, and I would rather, based off of what I've seen with my companions, at least one of them, it seems you're trying to interrogate us to see if our alibis are straight. Yes?
On the contrary, this deal is proceeding exactly as I would like it to proceed. Bad business to throw my lot in with people I cannot trust.
That is fair, but... Look, can you do the job or can you not do the job? I feel like we're getting around the point here.
This happens every time I go out to drink, by the way. Something starts speaking in my head.
You have passion about you. I like that.
That's great,
Whether-
but I'm still referring to the deal.
Whether or not I can do the job remains to be seen. Whether or not you are the right people. That is what I am trying to figure out.
Look, what if I told you that we are willing to pay a lot of money, not up front? If you don't trust us enough to let us see your face, then we're not going to trust you enough to give you the money, any of it, up front. But if I told you we had plenty of money, more than you would know what to do with, and that we had 2 jobs for you, not just one, would you be interested?
I want to like elbow Anthemius and like gesture at the bottle of wine I'm still holding.
What is it? I'm in the middle of a conversation here.
It's just mention the gift.
Make a persuasion check, Anthemius.
Alright. Persuasion, I got this one. Persuasion.
Natural one.
1, yeah.
21.
Damn, baby.
The voice in your head is quiet for a moment. You had my curiosity, but now I must admit you have my attention.
I get that.
Ooh.
Very well. And you hear nothing after that.
Just gonna go back to drinking my ale.
You're just gonna go back to.
You guys don't get to hear Torgen's voice this
You
time.
fucker.
And Themius is
Assuming
just gonna keep
that-
looking around, see if anything's off. Like if anywhere anyone could hide. Here.
You guys just experience anything odd? I think I just spoke to God.
W, my Lord and Savior, was communicating.
No.
I think it was our friend
Oh,
Tisvald or Yosus or whatever his name was.
I
Yosus.
didn't hear anything.
Oh, wonderful.
After a
Oh.
moment.
Mhm.
What were you gonna say, Torgen?
I just said, oh.
That was the end of the session.
Oh, after a moment, the barkeep returns to your table with another. It's a pitcher of ale this time.
Oh, flagon.
Yeah, flagon. And refills your tankards. No wine, unfortunately. It's just a flagon of ale.
A flagon.
And as he turns to leave, a small piece of parchment drops onto the table.
Oh, can I pick it up?
I'll give it a look. Yeah,
Oh.
I'll let boys pick it up.
I'm gonna
Roll
pick
to see who gets to it first. Dexterity. check.
I just
oh
pull
my
a sword.
god. Fucking do
I don't
it.
fucking 0 in dexterity. I'm fucked.
Eldritch Blast.
Mine,
Okay.
mine. No.
It's mine,
Who's,
precious.
who is gonna?
I think boys will take it.
Okay.
He said it
So,
first.
Boyce, you pick up the thingamabob, the little bit of parchment, and you open it. It's folded in half. You open it, and it
Got the
reads.
bartender's number.
It reads, East Wall, rightmost booth.
Well, I think we found our friend, gentlemen. East wall, rightmost booth.
Alright, do we still want to play the whole you don't understand common thing? Because
Well, telepathy doesn't mean it doesn't understand common, but I can just speak very broken common. Here, we'll do that.
that sounds good. I guess we get up and go.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you stand and sort of move as a group to the designated booth, and sitting in it, you find a lizard folk wearing a noticeably better kept attire than a lot of the other patrons of this establishment. He's got
It's a fucking lizard wizard.
He's got a fine collar inlaid with pearls. The tunic itself is a deep red and a little more close fitting. This is obviously a tailored garment. You cannot see anything below the waist, unfortunately, but he is wearing bracelets of gold and bronze inlaid with
Ooh.
intricate silver works, and the look is completed with a cylindrical hat. that
For the
rests
first time,
as-
someone other than Themius knows how to dress.
Looks a bit too calm tonight to be helping the fucking Osmanies, am I right?
You say that out loud.
No. I'm just gonna think that in my head.
So and he is red of skin, of scales, whatever. He regards you,
Fucking
then
red
gestures-
skill.
gestures
Nick.
to the booth seats.
I'll sit down. I'll let Boyce sit down first. I'll like gesture him over.
Thank you. I like climb in. Because I'm like a child.
It's like climbing a mountain.
Yeah.
You gotta lift him
I
down.
know.
Get a booster seat, yeah. Oh god.
No, you can just stand in the seat. It'll be similar enough.
Fuck.
He steeples his fingers and ponders for a moment.
I steeple
Then
my
he-
back.
And then he
I see it as
with-
like a greeting. I just pretend to be a dumb foreigner.
his eyes flick up to you and then back to, he's sort of staring intently at his tankard. Then he finally sits up and his eyes, the piercing yellow, regard each of you in turn, almost as if he's trying to make you look away.
I do. Because I'm terrified.
I would like
He
to
finally-
glance down and then glance immediately back up, like awkward kind of like, oop.
Yeah. I just grin a little and keep steepling.
Then he finally speaks in the same common that you heard in your heads, or at least three of you did.
Minus Torgan.
Rutro.
What sort of jobs?
One is obviously getting this man's family into the Comnanite borders. Another one is a assassination that pertains to that very job as well. It seems my friend here has gotten into... God, that went cockney there for a second. My friend here seems to have also gotten in trouble with individuals back home, and they would need to be disposed of, considering as they would be quite a problem.
I make no change in expression as if I don't know what he said.
An assassination job beyond the borders of the Comnanite realm. This is most unorthodox.
It is, but I've heard you are able to do many things unorthodox.
Perhaps. You do realize that operations of this scale will require... And he sort of rubs his thumb and fingers together, making the universal sign for currency.
I do
Oh,
the
of
same.
course. No, of course, I completely understand that.
Well, what do you have to offer?
We have within our possession, we didn't bring it with us obviously, because this bar is not exactly the kind of place where you want to bring those things. A old Osmanic sword that my friend brought here with him, from the good old Empire, worth roughly, after appraisal, 2,000 gold pieces. Alongside of that, we have 2 sapphires, each one worth roughly 250 gold pieces each. On top of that, he has an old family heirloom necklace worth 500 gold pieces.
Go ahead and make a deception check for all that.
Do I
That's
get
a
advantage
lot.
because I was really specific?
I don't think so.
Alright.
Laughs, but Loki not joking. That's so funny.
That is 19.
Really?
Of course, as I said, we are willing to pay quite an exorbitant amount of money.
So, out of character, real quick, what does equals beats mean in that situation? Because he rolled insight, you rolled deception, and you both got 19. Does that mean that your deception wins or his insight wins?
It's always an advantage of the non-playable character.
No,
Oh, right.
it's always an advantage of the player character. At least if you're talking about like initiative and other stuff like that, that always goes towards the player. But
No, but if you like if someone contests your spell save DC, like mine's 13, if they roll 13, they break through, but if I roll 13, they roll 13, I don't break through.
let's see if the player's handbook.
I'm pretty sure most rolls are in favor of the NPC or the enemy.
For now, we can look this up later, but for now, the specificity of your goods convinces him. He was a little wary, but you were. I mean, who would be like, oh yes, these gems worth precisely this much in this sword? So we'll put a pin in that, but for the sake of moving right along,
All right.
he is convinced. I see. And once again, with such a difficult job, you understand that I will ask for an amount of this up front. A considerable amount.
Naturally, that would be expected, yes, but I'd rather not just hand over my friend's heirlooms so willy-nilly. I would prefer to know exactly who you're going to be hiring for this kind of job.
Well, it will take time to position the pieces, as it were, you understand, once again. This is most unorthodox, a job that passes beyond the borders of the realm. Regardless, you have my guarantee that there will be top men assigned to this endeavor.
I have no doubt, but for security purposes, it would be preferable if we could at least figure out the names of these people.
I have a number of trustworthy contacts at the docks.
How many of them are Osmanic by coincidence? If any.
He sort of that he bristles a little bit at that comment. Yes. The announcement was difficult to stomach, but business goes on.
I see.
We will have strictly come the night men for this.
And do you normally hire your assassins through a third party, or do you do it yourself? Are they under your employ?
He pauses for a moment and regards you once again with these piercing, unblinking eyes. They are trustworthy. That is all you need to know. And their blades rarely miss.
I would feel more comfortable if I knew if these assassins were outsourced, or if they were a part of some kind of company that you're running here. Simply put, if I'm just paying someone to hire a sellsword, I'd rather just cut the middleman out. No offense. But
if you must know, my network is extensive, and there is a combination of sorts. We have agents of our own, and they are not above working with the locals if it gains them an edge. One of the reasons our enterprise commands such a premium.
I see. And how long have you had a history of doing operations here, I guess.
Oh well. Perhaps longer than you have lived in this realm.
I see.
Our establishment is venerable. That is all you need to know. I'm slipping into Russian. What the fuck?
Duh.
I kind of like it though.
Nikolai
Russian
will
lizard.
get the job done.
All right.
The name's Nikolai.
Then let us know if you have anyone. Whenever you have the pieces put in place, please let us know, and we will be willing to pay up front. I would say it would be preferable if you don't let us know right away. We're kind of trying to keep our friend over here on the down low. So if you could let us know in about 3 days, 4 days, at the earliest. And then after that, it's completely your convenience. We are currently lodging at DM. What lodgings or taverns are there nearby?
You want inside or outside the Scale District?
Outside.
All right. Closer to the docks, you've got the Drunken Barnacle and the Fisher's Respite. In the more, I guess, well-kept areas of the city, away from the rough and tumble of the docks, you sort of near the almshouse where you deposited Bolson. You have Wayfarer's Rest and what's another good tavern name? Well, you've got Wayfarer's Rest.
Which one would I know almost no one in? Like, obviously the Barnacle has had one of my old friends. Which one would
Right.
have had?
Hephaestus, Heroxidus, or whatever.
Here, Taxus.
Yes.
The Wayfarer's Rest. You probably wouldn't know anyone in there. It is closer to where you used to live, but any contacts you might have had in that area would probably not recognize you at this point.
We are currently staying at the Wayfarer's. What was it? Wayfarer's Respite?
Wayfarer's Rest.
Wayfarer's Rest. Unfortunately, we won't be able to communicate with you due to the fact that the district has just been closed down, so we're going to need to get out pretty quick.
You will know when the pieces are in place.
And once we know, we will be more than happy to give you your down payment.
He sort of nods. And he make a perception check.
That's 21.
All right. You notice, very fleeting. His hands have been steepled the entire time, right?
As if
You notice as you're sort of starting to wrap your discussions up, his right hand moves just a little bit, almost as if he's initiating a handshake, but then he catches himself and it snaps back up to the steepled fingers.
All right, I want to erupt here. I want to be like, Vine, and I like hold the wine really energetically, and I like offer my hand to shake it, and I'm like really excited to have a deal, but I don't know what's actually going on. And so I'm just like making him really uncomfortable with how foreign and misunderstanding I am of the situation. And I'm trying to get him to drink this wine and shake my hand.
His eyes shift to you, and he regards you with the same piercing glare that he's been using on everyone. His hands do not move, but there's a smile crosses his face insofar as lizard folk can smile. And he says, the old ways. A deal cannot be completed until we toast, yes? And so he sort of makes a gesture, and the bartender, who you now notice has been waiting sort of in the wings, brings over a set of glasses, finely made, silver.
Excuse me, could you please get our friend here a larger cup? His His cup seems a little ladle.
His cup seems like a
Seems
like
a bit
ladle.
ladle.
Well, did you?
ladle forward.
I assumed you guys left your other cups back over at the other table, but if you brought them, then
Oh, what a waste.
I didn't bring it. I
What a waste.
I brought it.
finished mine off by that point.
regardless, the bartender brings over enough of these nice these wine glasses or these wine cups for all of you to. They are they're intricately carved silver, and the stems of them resemble grapes and grapevines. That sort of climbs up onto the cups themselves. And so the cups are arranged and arrayed in front of you, and Yosus kind of gestures to you boys, is kind of like a well pour it
Oops.
kind of gesture.
Your gates are cool. Your gates and gum cool. And I like rip off the wax. And I get really excited, and I don't have a corkscrew, and I'm like picking it out with my teeth. And
Oh my god.
I'd like to lean my head over towards you and gesture for you to use my horn as a my horns as a little corkscrew.
as a corkscrew, I took his horn and corkscrew it off, and then I'm just really happy. It's like all oopla and shit, just pouring it out.
Opa!
Opa,
Opa!
hoopla. That's a lot of hoopla. And I pour us 2 glasses, and go to try to keep gesturing to shake his hand, really excitedly.
He is still ignoring the handshake gestures, but he goes over and he lifts he lifts his cup, and he sort of looks at all of you in turn and kind of, I mean, like it's the standard like toast kind of hold up the cup kind of gesture.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I hold mine up, I guess.
you're fucking little.
Hold your ladle. No, you've got a proper cup.
Ladle.
It's canon now. Every receptacle that Torgan drinks out of is
It's
a
not
ladle.
a fucking.
He doesn't
no,
know the word
It's
cup,
just
so
not
he
a
just asks for a
tankard or a
ladle.
cup. It's just. It's sometimes it's just like a head of cabbage carved out in the middle.
Red Bull.
No, it's just here's a bread bowl with wine.
Guys,
The entire character is just Weewah plates.
got a great idea. Reusable bread bowl.
Oh man.
No.
The bread,
Bread
bowl
bowl
holding.
toilets. Am I right, fella?
Oh
So he,
Lord.
you guys drink, and he regards the cup for a moment. Ah, an interesting vintage. May I inspect the, he kind of gestures to the bottle. May I?
Of course. And I like shove it in his fucking hand so excitedly.
He picks it up.
You
and
take.
He
Uh-oh.
examines it and turns it over in his hands.
Wait a minute.
Fuck.
And then he inspects the bottom.
Oh no.
Interesting that. He sets it down. And when were you going to tell me that you had dealings with Bulsan?
I didn't realize you had dealings with the man yourself. It's been a few weeks now since we've talked to him. Why?
Has it? Go ahead and make another deception check, Anthemius.
Natural 20.
Fuck. Well, how is this?
plus 4.
Damn.
Persuasive motherfucker.
Why is something wrong? Are you guys not on good terms?
Few weeks, you say.
About. More like a week and a half.
And he once his hand once again goes over to the bottle. It would surprise you then to learn that the shipment would not have reached him until 2 days ago.
Just the music and no voices, like ooh.
At this point, the eyes are just resting solely on you, Anthemius.
Including mine.
If I could sweat, I would be literally sweating bullets.
Why
Like-
do you think that I would buy what potentially could be an illegally acquired bottle of wine straight from Bolson. I had it delivered, obviously. Why would I exchange with the man himself? Scheduled delivery, my friend.
The issue is not why you purchased the shipment. The issue is, well, put simply, Bolsan will not be selling things any longer. Not for us or indeed anyone. Now, I would say that it might surprise you to learn this, but
I hear Bolson's name and I just shout it, Bolson! And I'm like all happy because I met him before or something, like just all foreigner like.
Oh my god. Gosh.
I'm so fucking scared.
You know what Sebastian's character? Have you guys seen Frozen? Like, you know that guy in the sauna guy?
Yeah.
Like, if he was shrunk down to like 3 feet, that's what Boyce reminds me of right now. Oh god.
now, I just completely lost my train of thought. Shit.
No, you're good. You were
bu-
like, you'll not be surprised. It's like, you may be surprised, but I doubt it.
You were talking about how
But
he wasn't
Bolson
going to be
isn't
doing
gonna
wine
be
with
selling
anyone.
anymore, yeah.
Yeah.
you may be surprised to learn further, though. I doubt it, given my suspicion. That our assassins have yet to report back. You would not know anything about that, would you?
I
My
would
cat
not.
is losing his shit. Wouldn't you? You see, I think that you would.
If I had known of assassins, I would have come to Bolson first, and not you. Unless you are trying to tell me the man is dead. In which case, that brings me a great deal of concern.
Now see, there we appear to have a problem. It is a vested interest of mine that his operations cease. Loose ends, as it were. Now, you can do one of two things here, and you begin to notice that the conversations of the lizard folk around you have quieted down, and several of them are looking intently over at the table.
Oh my
Fucking Mafia Don?
god.
I pay it
Oh,
no
I-
mind. I am just looking at this dude right
I'm
now.
very
I
slightly
begin to
shaking.
steeple my hands together.
Now that means one of two things. Either you work for potential rivals, or you have done what my assassins could not. Perhaps it is a combination of the two. Who hired you to kill Bolsan?
Hold on. Could we
Just
continue
guess
this
their names.
conversation? Is there a more private setting we could continue this conversation in? Could I do persuasion?
Go ahead.
Double agents for
Okay.
years.
Okay, 9 plus 4 is 13.
I am comfortable right where I am.
If you wish to know, the dealing was personal, not business. No one hired us.
Personal. Well. Regardless. Regardless, the man has been slain. His life was not yours to take. And if my suspicions are correct, the lives of my assassins were not yours to take, which means that you now owe me. What was it? Yes. 5 lives. Now, before we conduct any further business, we must square this debt.
How do you wish to do that?
Blood for blood would be the simplest. But seeing as I have a more pressing issue, I will offer you a bargain of sorts. It would be in your interest to take it.
Yes, it seems it would, and I just start looking around the room, very, like, sarcastically.
You notice now, as you break your gaze from him to survey the room, a lot of the lizard folk that are eyeing you intently, a lot of their hands are in their cloaks, or in their rucksacks, as it were.
Bro, we better get Glock down.
I steeple my fingers harder.
Well, why we have to go to the east side? This shit always happens on the east side.
Pulling in eyes.
It's a sunrise town.
Sundown.
No, it's a sunrise.
Or sunrise, yeah.
Sunrise, 'cause
Never
it's
mind.
all day, and then it's a sundown town.
It's a sun everything town. It's a night town. It's everything town.
It's bad. It's just bad.
I'd like to place my hand on Torgen's shoulder, noticing his rising anxiety. Check for
jump.
animal handling.
Yosus continues. You see, given the recent edict by our... his tone kind of changes. By our Grand Emperor. I have a loose end of sorts that needs to be tied off, and soon.
What would this loose end be?
It takes the form of a crew, an Osmani crew that faithfully ran shipments for a number of years, but at this point they have become a liability. This edict will force them back to their homeland, away from our direct influence or control. Loose lips, as it were. They have a tendency to sink ships.
What does he know that could compromise you?
Well, if I told you that, then you would know it too, now wouldn't you?
Yes, it would.
Darn, he's good.
Regardless,
Do you say that out loud?
No.
Okay.
if this crew and their vessel were to suffer, I don't know, an unfortunate series of accidents, then I would consider our debt to be squared. And then we may conduct business.
Could we at least know the captain's name?
I will give you the name of the captain, I will give you the name of the ship. Given the circumstances, the entire crew should be aboard. Easy pickings.
Mm-hmm.
The man you are looking for is named... Hold up here. Sirhan... What? Sirhan Toktan. Captain of the Wind Maiden.
Family
For you.
reunion?
So, will you do this job?
We don't really have a choice, so yes.
No. No, you do not. And he kind of leans back satisfied, makes a small gesture with his hand, and the lizard folk patrons around you return to their drinks.
Alright then. I guess I would say it was a pleasure doing business, but I'm not 100% sure that's true.
Ooh.
Attitude like that may get you killed.
This is business, not personal. I don't have to like you, I just need you to do something for me, and I just need to do something for you. You said it yourself, you saw passion about me.
So I did. He brings the cup to his lips and looks looks over each of you once more in turn.
Before I go, I'm just like, enjoy the wine. Compliments of Bolsan.
I cheers he drinks it. Thank you. Lemony, thank you. I like go to shake his hand some more.
We're still seated, correct? Like,
Oh, I got up at that point. I'm like,
yeah, and
I'd rather not
getting
be
up
there
if-
longer than I need to.
If
Yeah, and
you're,
I'm like
I mean,
jumping out of the booth and like praising this man for saving my family, but in reality, I know deep down that
he
he's
also
evil.
he as you guys are getting up to leave, he takes the bottle and like he lays a hand on the bottle like he's not gonna let you take it with you.
You guys were leaving so soon. I didn't even get to see what's on the menu.
I'm still kind of frozen in my seat.
All right. So a couple of things before we transition.
Yes.
Anthemius,
Mm-hmm.
that name has meaning to you.
I see.
You would seem to recall that. Give me 1 second here. Sorry. You seem to recall that the first mate of Mazun's crew was a man by the name of Serhan.
I see.
He's kind of a dick, though, right?
Another bit of housekeeping before we move on. Torgen.
Yep.
Interestingly, Yosu's didn't look at you with the same sort of expression as the other lizard folk have been.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't hunger in his eyes when he looked at you. He
It's more pure sexual desire.
Raw energy, bro.
You just wanted to pound your little birdie body.
He was checking out them drumsticks, them chicken legs, like.
And the wings.
Please stop. I'm trying to
Damn,
listen.
baby, give me a bite of them thighs.
Nick, please. I'm
Honey
trying
got
to listen
beef.
to Ben. Please.
She gets a
Ben,
mean beef.
please continue.
In fact, part of what made his expression so terrifying to you, even wait. Sorry, let me restart. Essentially, he did not regard you with the same expression as the other lizard folk, and that it stood out to you.
Did he have
What
an Osmani
did-
accent? Sorry.
Another thing, yes, you might have picked up on, not necessarily Osmani, but it definitely wasn't lizard folk. He did not speak with lizard folk common.
He wasn't the lizard guys.
A distinct absence of hisses.
What was I gonna say? What kind of expression did he have when he looked at me?
Nick already told you, Chief.
Oh.
He regarded all of you with a very similar expression, these piercing, unblinking eyes. But what made that remarkable was the fact that he didn't look like he wanted to eat you.
Yeah.
Yeah. A man in control of his urges.
Or just not lizard folk.
You know, like as we leave, I'm just like, or I guess once we get out the door, I'm just like, that man is not lizard folk, at all.
Mm-mm.
He doesn't. I mean, that was made clear when he decided not to shake your hand.
Can I do like a nature check to tell if he was, or how about can I do a Arcana check to see if it was like some sort of
Illusion.
disguise spell? Or is,
Yeah, you
is
could
it
do.
is it a bit too late for that?
I think it would be a little too late for that because you're no longer
Looking at him,
observing him.
like,
Can I do a history check on his accent, though?
You could.
Make it that
There
one.
we go.
getting somewhere.
10 plus 3, 13. Does that get me anywhere?
You couldn't make out anything distinctly Osmani about his accent, but it was definitely accented common. He did not speak as a Kumnanite would, nor did he speak as a lizard folk would.
And then it's not Osmani, and he's not the lizard. I would know.
You mean he's not come tonight?
Oh, yeah. He's not Osmani either. That accent don't make no sense. Osmani don't talk like that.
Whatever it is, nothing's adding up here. Things are just getting more confusing. Oh, the wine was a stupid idea. Why did I think the wine would work?
You know, it seems so stupid now, but I still think it would have worked. I really thought I sold it.
God, a week and a half? Fucking stupid.
No, that makes sense. I don't understand how the bottle's marked with exact dates of shipment, but
No, we should have paid attention to that.
yeah, barcode labels.
There's a serial
Barcode.
number.
We don't have to do what he says.
What do you suggest then?
We report back.
That is the first thing I would like to do, but
What would the prince help us with? How would the prince help us?
I mean, the man gave away quite a bit of information during our conversation. First of all, he said that the assassins, wherever he was recruiting them from, were around the docks. And he said that a society, whichever ran the assassination, is venerable, meaning it's quite old. So, that at least gives us a general location and a time.
How long until we have to do the job?
I would say up until... Actually, shit, they made the order today, didn't they, to leave the ports?
They made the order today, but it said all ships must vacate the harbor by nightfall 2 days hence. They've got 2 days to leave.
We have 2 days. That's not a lot of time.
Is it enough time to get recruited as an assassin?
What do you mean get recruited as an assassin?
Go down to the docks, look for work, get recruited, figure out where they're recruiting
Something
from.
tells me if the organization is this old, they don't just recruit that way.
You never know.
If we could... I think the
Might
print...
post on
If
Indeed.
the organization is as old as the man says, odds are there's probably got to be a book or something about it, and if there's going to be a book about something of that nature, it's going to be in the palace, or at least with one of the emperors.
Or maybe in Torgon's
We-
fucking pocket.
We tried sneaking in. Now, with the Emperor, we can try brute force.
Hmm.
He said Eldritch Blast.
I'm not
Hmm.
100% sure on that, Torgun. I have a feeling that man does not stay in that bar all day. He only probably comes when there's a deal needing to be made. So if anything, what would happen is if we tried to use brute force, the Komnenite soldiers, the Vorgos Dragos, or whatever the hell they're called,
Orosh Dracos.
the Vargas Tacos,
Yep, that one.
the Vorash Dracos, I seriously doubt are going to be very subtle about it. And odds are, our friend there inside is going to know, and is going to pick up on the fact that it was probably us who led to their little place getting raided, considering as how we were the most recent people there.
It's still an option.
Well, there's options and then there's good options.
Torgan, you better hope
Ouch.
that there aren't ears out here.
What was the good
Well,
option?
we're like
Going to
whispering
ship?
this as we're going, I assume. I don't think we're going like, man, that guy's not a lizard folk. That
Yeah,
guy is
gotta go
not
talk-
Komnenite.
I don't know. You never know how many people are around us.
Jake just wants to have a Byzantine version of the FBI open up meme.
Kind of, except it's just a bird with fucking laser hands.
Also,
We could
look,
always take down the ship and blackmail this fucker.
tell him that he did it. Tell someone that he did it.
Tell someone that he did it, or get the information that he wants, from the captain.
The only issue is we arrive at the same problem. That is not that man's actual identity. They'd have to try and find someone with nothing to go off of.
True.
Except for an accent.
Hmm.
What if we just waited outside, or hidden, just wait for him to leave, and just follow
Take
him?
out. How do we know which one to
Hmm.
follow? Maybe his clothing?
I would imagine the man wouldn't change disguises as he was leaving the building. If he went in the same way, he'll probably want to leave the same way.
Could just go into the bathroom.
Yes. Does anyone have the detect magic spell?
Hmm.
If we
Cricket.
did,
I
we'd
don't
be
know
able to
about anything.
identify him. But
I can do an Arcana check, but that's all I can do.
that's assuming he changes disguises. But if he's in the Scaled District, wouldn't it make sense for him to stay as he is?
I don't think so, because I'm sure the scaled. You saw what it was like in there. There were a lot of lizard folk, so I'm sure most people in the scaled district know of the place, know of the guy, and will let him slide through whatever disguise he needs.
That is a problem.
It's kind of racist.
But we need
That
more.
wasn't in character. I should have made that in character.
Yeah. In character, I'm just like, we need more information on him. We really have very little to go off of.
Well, we know we got a job.
We have a job. We can
could
always
simply
go
ask
back.
the captain now and destroy his ship later if we need to.
Well,
You know the man. Maybe we can get information on the guy.
we're not exactly on friendly terms, I'll say that much.
Then we sink his ship.
Actually, we interrogate him, because that man knows something that our little friend over there...
Doesn't
He's
want
actually
us to.
not little, but he knows something that he shouldn't. So what if we just kidnapped the captain, took him back to the palace, and interrogated him?
Oh no, the palace is a poor place to interrogate.
Where would you propose, then? We don't
Volsons.
exactly have many options. Volsons is completely exposed. That's a terrible idea.
How about his captain quarters? We could get in there for a
You could shift yourself
one-on-four
into a sexy sailor
conversation.
woman.
get him
It's
in there
risky.
for a one-on-four conversation and well, keep the door closed behind us.
It's risky, but it's definitely not the worst option we have.
Do you have any other?
Not really.
always
Ideally,
think
I'd still
that
like to do
wonder.
some research on the group, just based off of location and time, but...
Okay.
Hmm.
Besides, we have 2 days to burn. We have some time at least. It's
Oh.
not like we're...
Mm-hmm.
So we have all of today, and then we can always execute the plan tomorrow if something needs to happen.
We can always sink a ship. I've never sunk a ship before. This could be fun.
Well, I'd
Or we
prefer
could
not-
take a ship for our own
We're
use.
not doing anything.
I think first we need to report back to the prince.
I agree. And check the library. See if there's
Also, if
anything
it-
we could learn.
If it does come down to the ship, I'd really rather not kill a bunch of innocent sailors who just happen to know the wrong captain.
We could always just sink the ship. And
Or we
throw
could
all the corpses of the
persuade
assassins
a
in the
bunch
water.
of innocent sailors to assist us in our own
Mutiny.
ways.
Mutiny's not a terrible idea.
We only need to kill the captain, right? Would the crew know?
No, I would say if we want the mutiny to work successfully, if we wanted to work in favor of trying to interrogate our captain, we need them to turn against the captain but not kill him.
Hmm.
Either way, let's go to the palace first. We can always plan from there.
Yo ho, yo ho. Off to the palace we go.
Yar har fiddle-dee-dee, being a pirate is the life for me.
Alright, yeah, we'll go to the palace.
All right.
We'll be the little lapdogs and report back to the prince. And...
Yeah, I just want the man's library.
Oh,
So
man.
you're gonna head back to the palace. Are you gonna take a more direct route?
Yeah, just straight
Yeah.
back.
All right.
I want to make like
Actually,
perception checks. And make
we
sure
are
there's
gonna
no,
get
like,
spotted.
Tasmanian man following
Yeah,
us.
I'd rather we take an indirect route.
Yeah, if these guys decide to go on a direct route, I am not. I would split off from them.
You're gonna split off from us in the Scaly district. Go for it.
As long as it's indirect.
All right. So you're gonna. Are you all taking a surreptitious route or just Torgan?
I think
my
we should all take the...
Where could I get some dye? That is
I
my
thought you were
question
trying to-
right now.
I thought you were trying to mock me with a Torgan voice, but you were just thinking.
No, I was just talking to Ben.
You want to look for dye.
Like dye, yeah, like colored dye.
Yeah. Pretty much any market square in the city would have a general store, or if you're lucky, maybe even a dedicated seller. But dyes would not be a difficult thing
Well,
to come by.
would anyone like to accompany me to a store, perhaps?
What for?
Well, remember one of those assassins, that maybe we may have possibly killed? Well, I may have possibly taken some of their clothing, and I kinda want to use it, but I kinda don't want to look like one of them.
I swear, it's pretty common.
I'm gonna throw something out there. Weren't the cloaks black?
You need bleach first.
Oh, I thought they were
Underneath
gray.
it, they're white. And
They
then-
were they were darkly colored.
I thought they were
Hues
like a
of-
gray. Yeah.
hues of black, brown, and gray. But Torgan brings up a good point. Not easily dyed.
Damn,
You
I
can't dye
cry.
it white, wait for it, then dye it a different color.
My friend, you know you can just get something custom made, you know?
We broke out here, sir.
Oh, please, don't hit me with that bullshit.
Oh Lord.
I know you have those 2 rubies on you worth 50 gold apiece.
No die for me.
Like a new cloak.
What was that? A question?
No, as a statement.
What was it?
I'd like a new cloak.
Do you want the one that I have? Is that what you're saying?
No.
Oh, okay.
Do we just want to go to a tailor before we go to the palace?
I think so.
Alright, let's do that. On the way, I'm gonna be looking around to see if we're being followed.
You're gonna. I'm sorry. My brain
No, you're
died.
good.
What are you doing?
We're heading to a tailor's apparently because people decided they want to change in fashion.
Okay.
On the way, I would like to check to see if anyone's following us.
All right. So you move back through the scaled. You've got me doing it too. The scaled district, and out into the city proper. And it takes a little bit of walking because the closer you get to the scaled district, the more sort of slummy the areas are. But after maybe about 10 minutes of moving through, you get to a respectable enough area, and you find. Well, first of all, a perception check, Anthemius.
Natural 2.
As far as you can
Plus 4.
tell, you're not being followed.
I'd like to be making perception checks as well. Can we all just make
I'm
perception
just-
checks?
Yeah, we all
I'm-
can. I would like to as
No,
well. So.
I'm just waltzing my way. I'm excited. to
Torgan's
get new-
like,
Okay,
well,
you
scale
fucking
district,
I'm
jerk.
excited
now.
to get out of the district and into a new set of roads.
Okay, well I'm gonna roll
Or,
for perception. That's a 20.
Well, I was gonna say it would probably just have to be Anthemius.
Oh really?
And I'm not just saying that to snub you a roll. I was trying to say it before you rolled, but it
Okay,
in-
but
in
why?
math,
Wait, what?
it would be.
Usually it's like you just want one person making the
Yeah.
skill roll, otherwise what
if we all
happens is it's
could-
like, alright, I roll perception, you fail.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna roll perception.
Oh,
you
well,
fail. It's
can't
like-
you do an assisted thing? So couldn't that like?
You can,
wouldn't
but
matter, yeah, like
since he already rolled, the moment has passed.
Wait, what did you roll? Wait, oh well, I guess
Natural
it doesn't
2.
matter.
Yeah.
So how does the assist work? That's kind of when I say
The person rolls twice.
we've done this like a couple times, but when we all decide to do something, I just assume that that's how you do it, like that you
You have to declare.
make it an assisted.
basically.
You have to
Okay.
declare it, and assistance is if somebody is rules as written. If both people are proficient in a skill, then they can work together, and then only one of them rolls, but they roll with advantage. So they roll twice and take the
Oh,
higher
so
roll.
Oh,
Who must have
okay.
been
Well, now I
proficient?
get how that works. Okay.
Yes.
Um, okay.
Again, we've been kind of playing it fast and loose, so I think some of you guys have been assisting without proficiency, and that's fine because I think that helping each other is fun. But
Go team.
yeah, go team. That's how that works. Anyway.
That's
yes.
so sad.
I feel like now it just seems like I was trying to snub you a roll. Like,
No, you
yeah,
definitely
I
weren't,
was
because
trying
I
to-
could tell you were trying to get something out, but I was just letting it come out of me because I don't want to shut myself up. Sometimes it
Letting
feels
it-
good to just let it flow.
letting it you for
Sometimes it feels good to be a foreigner just making mistakes, you know.
yeah.
Making
I do
my
know.
way downtown.
Anyway,
Okay. Yes.
Anthemius, your knowledge of the city helps the group in this regard, and you bring them to a tailor that does work for some well-off people in the city. It is the store is called Ignatio. Actually, what would be the possessive of that? I think just Ignatios Fineries is the name of the store.
Ooh, swanky.
Well, feel free to have a field day. I'll just be waiting outside, keeping an eye out.
I would like to.
I think I'm good in my current
So-
clothes as well.
So this is basically like
Weak.
a men's warehouse, but for all types of clothes.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean
So,
it is a tailor shop.
There is a place where they have little samples of their fabrics, right?
Yeah, they
Like
they would
patterns,
have.
that sort of thing.
Oh, lovely.
Will, would you,
Torgen's
Torgen?
going full bougie.
Torgen,
I
would
am
you?
going
Same though.
Would you? There's one way to find out, Torgen, if you want to go in there and check it out.
I would love to go in there.
Yeah, I'd like to go in with you, of course.
All right, Nick and Torgen.
Little Barbie shopping spree, us two best buddies.
I thought your character
guys-
hated me.
No, I think you're a little annoying and a bit racist.
I'm just stupid, okay?
It's ignorant. There's a difference.
Yeah, gosh.
So you guys enter, and a bell attached to the door rings, and a
Ding 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 ding.
a tall elf sort of raises his
Torgen's
head up
dad.
raises his head up from behind his desk, and he pauses for a moment, seeing these two
Midgets.
these two oddly proportioned creatures enter. But then he sort of shakes that off and puts on his best salesman smile. Ah, hello. I see you have an eye for the finer things in life. Have you come for measurements? A new tunic, perhaps?
I've only come to browse.
His demeanor changes just a little bit. Ah,
I'd like to purchase a new robe. Cloak.
would you now? Ah, my feathered friend, I am sure we can find something to accommodate you. This way, this way. He comes out from behind his desk and leads you off into a section of the store. There's a brass mirror sort of set into one of the walls. And... What is this?
Look at the picture.
What is... Yep. Accurate.
All right, go keep going. Sorry.
Anyway, he leads you over to a section of the store. There's a brass mirror set into the wall in front of you, and on either side there are bales of different cloth, finely dyed linens, silks, a few wools that are of a very good weave. And he brings you over, and he removes from one of his pockets a length of fabric measuring tape. So, custom made, I take it?
Yes.
Excellent, excellent.
Torgen's
If you would
like,
just
"My
hold out
boobs
your
fit
arm
today."
for me.
I'd like to hold out my arm. Ooh, there goes the bot. I'd also kind of like to specify what I'm looking for with them a bit.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily looking for a whole new robe, so
Just a cloak.
like a cloak. I'm just gonna explain this out of character real quick. I'm gonna figure out how to phrase it in bird voice, but I basically want it to, since I wear leather armor under my robes, I'd like it to kind of not like, I guess it'd be really difficult to mix it in with fabric, like to mix robe and robe and leather armor, but almost imagine just like hood with cloak off the back that is also like riveted to my leather armor.
Okay, so you want a covering for your
Like
yeah.
a skinny cloak.
I mean, capes
But a wide
existed,
cape.
like, as a
Yeah.
fashion thing.
Yeah,
Okay,
like you
well
can
then
have a
like
cape.
a cape with the hood attached, and then that attached to my chest, the back of my chest plate.
Yeah, I mean, a
Okay.
cape is just basically a more fashion-oriented, less functional cloak.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, you seek a mantle, I see. Well, what sort of material, what sort of fabric would you like this to be cut from?
Oh shit.
Silk, you gotta go all out. You gotta go all in.
God damn it, dude.
Is he holding up your arm?
Yeah, he's
What,
he is,
what
he
kind
is,
of
as
what kind of
as you are
materials are there?
as you are conversing, he's been taking measurements. So he's got your since you've wanted a cloak, he's taking your neck measurement, the length of your arm, stuff like that. As for fabrics, he pauses. Ah, yes, well, we have a number of fine cuts, and he gestures to the left and right of this brass mirror, and you can see various patterns and textures, but predominantly there are linens, very finely woven. Pretty much every color under the sun.
Is there anything a little more rugged looking?
He does have wools of a thicker weave. If you were looking for a more durable garment, wool would be what you would go for.
I love what our D&D session has turned into tonight.
Fucking tailoring.
No, this is D&D at its best, Chief. It's
Oh,
just,
yeah,
it's
I
getting-
genuinely love it. That's what I was going
The
for when
wicking
I said I
material
wanted to go to a tailor. Like,
Okay,
Slightly fewer colors, but he does have wool that has been block printed, i.e., he
like it's got a full pattern printed onto it.
It's got a full pattern printed onto it. He has a few bales that have been embroidered. There's one that catches your eye that's sort of a gray with gold filigree thread.
Ooh. What is that? I was imagining a gray wool cloak with gold embroidery. Is that right, or what's the?
That is
Filigree is just
correct.
basically just fancy
Filigree
beads and
is
shit.
this is gold, actual gold that has been put through the mill and turned into thread.
Okay. So that does very much catch my eye. Is the gold shiny or is it more matte?
Oh, it shines. Like it is
Mm,
essentially think gold, like the metal gold that has been turned into thread.
okay.
Run through rollers until it is thin enough that it's indistinguishable from thread.
Okay, I see. It's a bit too flashy for my taste. I do take note of it though.
Cloak pictures. Yeah, so those details
Whoa.
Jake would be gold filigree, like
Fucking
what Jasper
Jesus
posted.
Christ, Sebastian.
Anyway,
oh, God.
Other-
Is that the Eldritch Blast?
in other in other tones of gray, he has one that is block printed in a kind of mustard yellow, which might achieve that gold effect without being too flashy or breaking the bank. As he shifts from the gold filigree wool to the gold block printed wool, his demeanor changes just a bit. He's a little disappointed. Ah, well, yes, but I must say you would look splendid, just magnificent in this filigreed wool.
No.
I see.
Shit, dog.
Hey, at
Well,
least I'm
down.
buying a fucking cloak. It doesn't look like he's doing anything better.
We
Alright,
do have this here, and he brings out a bale that is gray wool, just as the others. No printing on it this time, but the inside of it is a sort of a combination of wool on one side and a light silk on the other.
I like that.
This
I like
one
that a lot.
combines the durability, the ruggedness that you so seek, and without compromising fashion, not one iota.
I take a lot of notice to it.
He removes the bale from the wall and sort of spreads it out over, like, sort of drapes it over one of your arms, so you can kind of see how you would look in the garment. Ah, I think this suits you brilliantly, sir. If I do say so myself, I have an eye for these things.
Yes.
A mantle, then, of this cut.
Yes.
Splendid. I will set right to work. Now, as for the price, I assume you are a man of taste and standing, otherwise you would not have even set foot in this fine establishment.
Maybe.
Hmm.
Let's see. For the and he stops for a moment and does some figuring out. Attempting. One moment, sir. I desire to figure the sum. Let's see. Labor, cost of fabric. He pulls out a small pocket abacus and begins
He's got a fucking
doing up some.
Oh no.
Moving the beads back and forth, as it were.
Torgen's heart sinks as he
Yeah.
just realizes he's just put his whole family in debt for some new threads.
If it's too high, I'm just gonna turn around and walk away.
We accept installment payments, as I'm sure you are aware. It would be
You should just put it on the fucking king's tab.
20 gold for labor, and for the garment itself.
I can do 15.
Do a persuasion check.
But the blows.
I have a second plan coming up here.
You're just gonna fucking charm him with your spells.
I got an 18.
You also got some money recently.
He blinks at you blankly for a few moments. It's pretty clear this guy is not accustomed to haggling. He deals with people for whom price is no object. But he considers for a moment.
I'd like
Sir,
to butt in.
I'm
I
afraid.
am short.
I'm afraid 17 is as low as I can go.
Excuse me, sir. I found a variety of items that I would like as well, and
I'd like to step
I will be
in
with you in
between-
just a moment.
I'd like to step in between
well, maybe.
Nick and the shopkeep,
Fucking country
and
fuck.
I'd like to very aggressively, not like sort of tense up,
Look,
and like use prestidigitation on my hand to look like there's a fire. And I'd like to intimidate him and just say 15.
look. Pardon me,
My
sir.
name's Torgen, I'm
Sir.
chaotic good.
Sir, if you could please include his in my bill, we could pay together, perhaps. As you see, I'd like to buy quite a few items from you. I'd like to present some items to him, which is like,
Well, so what are you? This guy is a tailor. He doesn't really do pre-made garments. What are you?
oh, I was hoping he had. That's why I said when I walked in, we were browsing. I assumed he had garments for show, to show what kind of stuff he has. These kinds
He does have garments to show, but they wouldn't be. It wouldn't be like off the shelf. Buy them. It would be. I'd like something in this style, and then he'd measure you and make something.
That's fair. That's fair.
All right. So
Well,
I see
basically,
what
I'm
you-
presenting to him the things that I'd like him to make, like the things I want from him.
Yeah,
And I'm
okay,
just
yeah.
saying, and maybe
Catalog.
considering the amount of business we're trying to bring to you right now, maybe, perhaps, you could make it a little easier on us. And then maybe I could do like a persuasion or something.
I didn't get to do my second plan, and I'm mad.
Yeah.
Well, it
got
seemed
your
like you were gonna hurt the guy's feelings or scare the shit out of the guy. Like,
That's
you
the
got
point.
your second. You got your second plan out, but I think
Nick jumped in.
yeah, I didn't like it.
yeah, Nick jumped in, and you try to intercede yourself between the shopkeeper and Nick, but Nick just sort of knocks you aside as he steps forward with his.
This is what I'd like.
Ah, yes.
This is my design.
Oh, shut up.
Well, I can have that. Just up for you in a jiffy. What material were you thinking here?
Oh shit, dog.
Get wool for the moisture wicking effect it'll have when you're adventuring.
Oh yeah, that sounds fine to me.
Oh yeah,
Actually, though.
we
It's
have
literally just your fur.
many prints and colors. Do you have a preference in that regard?
Personally, I would like my trousers, like a brown. You know, that seems pretty casual. I think a nice, clean, cream or white pleated shirt would suit me very well. As for the bag, by the way, I sent 2 pictures of the bag. That's kind
Yeah,
of
I see
like
that.
it's a combination of the two, if you could imagine. That's what I had in
Like
mind.
a leather small rucksack.
Like, just to replace the one that I carry already, because all of my clothing currently is animal skin from the forest, and I think now that I'm meeting people out in the city and I'm adventuring, maybe I shouldn't fucking walk around in animal skin. I'm not a barbarian anymore. Like,
A respectable goal, sir.
anyway.
Very respectable. You seek to smarten yourself up for the betters. I can understand that. I shall have to bring this rucksack design to our affiliate. He's a leather worker the next door down, but I can. And he once again starts doing some figuring. Has trousers. Yes, custom labor. This will be 15 for the lot, sir.
You couldn't do me any better, could you? And then do a persuasion. Let me see. Oh no, 6 plus 4 is 10.
I'm afraid 15 is the lowest I can go, sir. You will find no better bargain in the city, of that I can assure you.
Well, I can do that for you. I do appreciate the business.
Very good, very good. And he he goes over to the counter, and you complete the transaction. Now, let's see. I shall have these items ready for you in 1 day's time, sir.
Oh, fantastic.
Simply, and he pulls out a piece of parchment and scribbles. He essentially writes up a bill of sale and a receipt. If you would just make your mark there, sir.
Stamp your fucking poof on it.
Oh my gosh.
So that didn't include my cloak, did it?
No, it did not. He sort of.
Oh, we forgot about your cloak, sorry.
Time to initiate. Time to initiate plan 2.5. It's the same as plan 2.
He turns to he perceived that the business would get done quicker with Nick than it would with you, and he wanted to sort of. I don't know why, but Nick got his stuff.
Well,
So he writes up that, and now if you would just return with this slip of paper, you understand is your receipt. I cannot vend you anything without this, so keep it close.
This is when you lose it in the shipwreck.
Yeah. he's gonna lose that.
Now have a splendid day, sir. I look forward to presenting you with your garments. Now, my feathered friend, where were we?
I'm just staring at him intently.
Ah, yes. 17 gold, I believe it was. Or was it 18?
Alright. Prestidigitation, my hand is on fire. 15.
that's right. I think I heard 15 when I was walking up.
And I'd like to try to intimidate him.
All right. Go ahead.
Chaotic good my ass.
21.
He shits himself a little.
That checks
a
out.
+5 in intimidation. So I rolled a
Sir, I must admit I'm a little bit troubled. What? By what manner do these flames come to you?
I'm asking 15 gold.
It's like I just remembered some kid that pushed me in 5th grade.
He sort of
lunch money.
he stares at you for a moment with sort of concern on his face. Very well, sir. 15 gold.
Yeah. Immediately just flame out. I just return back to normal, less tense, just walk up to him and put 15 gold on the counter.
He sort of he reaches out kind of cautiously and takes it and says, "Yes,
Gonna make you a really
your garment will be ready in
Receipt?
tomorrow. What?
Receipt?
Oh,
Washington.
he kind of
Prince receipt.
he reaches under the counter, but he's trying to keep his eyes on you at all times. So he fumbles around for a bit, then brings out a slip of parchment and sort of his writes down some of the thing, but it's much less organized than Nick's bill of sale because he's looking at his eyes are glued to you the
He
entire time.
doesn't want to be killed by a crow.
Make your that just there, sir.
I scribble my name.
Yep. And he takes it and removes one side of the parchment and slides the other to you, and just sort of stands there for a moment. Now, I have work to do. If you would.
Mhm. Thank you. And then I'm just gonna walk out.
All right.
Before we go, would you happen to know a trader by chance? Someone who may be interested in accumulating old goods for resale?
Garments to sew. Must sew garments.
Okay. well, yeah. You have a great day, sir. See you later.
I will
See you
haunt the rest
tomorrow.
of his dreams.
All right. So you guys kind of step back out into the thoroughfare, reconvene with Anthemius and boys.
Oh, fucking finally! I was holding a purse for hours.
That did take you guys a while, surprisingly longer than I would have expected.
We come back tomorrow.
No.
How much did your little adventure rack up?
All of my money.
Yeah, we broke the bank.
I guess we gotta go ask the prince for an allowance.
Anyway,
Or we could just
boys, could I
cash
borrow
out those
some
movies.
cash?
No, ask the prince
Cash
for
them
an
out and
allowance.
split it. We each get 25 gold pieces. Wait,
No. Ask the prince for an allowance.
no, they're worth 50 apiece.
I'm not asking the prince for a loan, that's a
No, that was
terrible
right.
idea.
Not a loan, an allowance.
That's even worse.
Well, we're doing work for him. He should be financing it.
Prince, give me money.
Either way,
Alright,
it's where we
so-
need to be going, so...
Yeah. So
Let's
you guys move back
Work
to the
expenses.
I mean, we are working for him. So.
I can't help but agree with Boyce, actually. We're putting our lives on the line. We've fought
They said
and
we would
murdered.
get paid.
At
They
the
said
very
we would
at
get
the very
paid.
least, we could ask for a tavern, right?
We could ask for housing. That's
They
reasonable.
said we would get paid. Let's at least see the job through.
I insist on a small advance.
We have enough money right now. I'll be right 1 second. I'm getting a call.
I will also
Alright,
be right
thank
back.
you.
I need to empty my bladder.
Understand.
Okay, intermission.
Intermission.
Morgan's got a new pair of shoes.
Yeah, pimp daddy.
Dude, you have crow feet.
Oh shit.
Listen.
Yeah, I think
they
my
tick-tack
character's.
real quiet.
I think my dude's still barefoot. I should have got some fucking horseshoes.
Well, you also, I mean, like you have hooves. I don't.
Yeah, true, but do they?
They could,
Do
I mean,
goats
you
wear
get
anything
boots.
like horseshoes?
I have no,
no,
idea.
the
No.
goats are livestock.
Well, yeah, but
They're not work. They're not tools like a horse would be. That's
I
why you have
know,
to take
but
you have to take care of a hoof of a horse more than you would a goat that walks in dirt all day.
Damn. You don't take care of your goats, do you?
I think that's how it works.
No, yeah. Goats don't have little shoes. The horses get shoes specifically because of the way you ride on them and stuff like that.
yeah.
But I mean, this is D&D. These people
Yeah, if
measure
really
you
wanna
and
have- if
make
you wanna-
whatever you want, so you pay him
Exactly,
like
yeah.
2 gold extra, and then he's making you a like, you know, those really tall, like up to your knee laced boots,
True. Yeah, you could be a sexy mom with thigh highs.
thigh high boots. How do you get it around the
Just-
knee?
That's a thing. You've never seen a thigh high boot?
I
before?
gotta look this up.
It's a thing. Look up sexy
Yeah,
little
it's a
thigh-high
thing.
boots.
It's yeah.
Thigh high
There's Shakur. She used
boots.
to have them. They were great.
Not shopping. Please don't. Those are knee high. Those are knee. Those are What the fuck?
Told you.
Those are just pants.
No.
Just order some fancy.
What the hell?
What are they called?
What are
The
these
ankle
pictures?
warmers or whatever.
What are these
Number.
pictures?
It's James Bond.
I hate this.
This is a. I don't like
Did you not
that.
see Torgan with a fucking gun?
I saw
Alas.
Torgan with a gun. How?
Oh wait, so we never got the roll 20 room unfogged or whatever, right?
Yeah, no, we're
Okay,
not.
We haven't
good.
gone there yet.
Okay,
we
I'm just
haven't
making
doing
sure.
any of it.
I was
We
gonna
haven't
ask,
gotten to
on
it
the way to the palace, could I try again to see if we're being followed since some time has passed?
That's pretty
Yeah,
fair.
it's some time has passed, and if you guys wanna work together to accomplish that, I'll allow
Mhm.
it.
I
Who would
will.
like to assist
No.
us me?
I would.
Alright.
Do it to him.
Swear to God, if you fuck me again, dude. 15.
5.
Well, no,
So
you
you-
wouldn't roll, Nick. It would just you'd be giving me advantage.
I know, I'm just letting you know. Wait.
Okay.
Wait, I thought I do roll anyway, though,
Oh,
just in
No,
case I have a higher
it
number.
It just gives Jasker an advantage.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot.
One person
Again.
rolls twice. Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah,
I'll
so
figure it out.
It doesn't look like you're being followed.
I mean, I feel a little more confident in that one, but 15 ain't that great either.
They're really sneaky, bro.
I'm not paying attention. I'm just
Vibing.
Vibing.
You're
Yeah.
happy that you got you.
because this cloak I'm wearing is like it's been dragging along the ground so bad. There's like it's ripped up, so
Oh.
so it's ragged on the bottom.
It
and
was
it's
sewn by
just-
your father back, years ago.
Yeah, years ago, because I haven't grown
Yeah,
since I was
yeah.
about 10.
One of your father's old hand-me-downs, which is why it drags so
yeah,
much.
yeah, but no, it was cut, but it was cut hastily, so it still dragged.
Yeah, because he's just a dad. He doesn't know how to clothe his kids. He's a single dad trying to make a difference.
Just
You
trying to
have
make
a dog, Jaskrin?
I'm just dog sitting for the weekend.
Oh,
Cute.
it's like a pancake.
Okay,
My pugs don't spread out like that.
Your pugs aren't liquid.
No, they just stay like loaf. It's weird.
You have pugs?
Dude, at my parents' house, they have 2 pugs, like 13-year-old Chihuahua Beagle, and a Siberian Husky, plus a cat, and a fish.
Jesus,
Dick's
the
got a
fucking
lot of
petting
dogs.
zoo.
That's the lowest it's been in years. Oh, they also have a hedgehog, but
Jesus.
still the lowest it's been for like 5 years.
I've got 3 dogs, 2 cats.
Nice.
Yeah. So, that's
All
like
right.
shocking.
Sorry, Ben.
No problem. Moving right along.
Talking about our pets. Man, you got 2
Um,
cats. What are you talking about, buddy?
I do have 2 cats. I also have a D&D session.
Damn.
Fucking blame him.
Getting donked, dude.
Now, the
On the way to
so-
the palace.
We-
yeah,
we-
yes,
we
you
were
guys
walking
are
to the
you
palace.
guys are moving back toward the palace, taking a longer route than necessarily could be. Y'all are some careful boys. As you pass into the noble district and then to the royal district, it's getting to be about midday, and as you are approaching the palace, over to the east, you hear the bells of the Hagos Komnenos start to toll as the service for Steward Cosmas begins. His official wake has begun.
Yeah. I think to myself, like, I know we were headed to go see the prince, but I don't think he's probably at the service. I don't think it's a great idea to seek him out there. So I start just preparing. If these guys turn, I'm gonna keep heading towards the palace.
No, I think it makes sense. Like, why would we wait for? Why would we go to a church when we can just wait for him at the palace?
Yeah, I get that.
I think it'd be very rude to interrupt that.
Maybe just be like, "Hey, yo, what up, motherfucker?
Hey, there's some bad people over there.
Hey.
Hey, yo, burn the scale district down to the ground, yo."
They're all criminals.
Hold them tight.
Oh, shit, Torgan.
Can I get a genocide in the chat?
You, oh God, you reach the gates of the palace, and the Foros Dracos on guard. They sort of snap to attention, and you move past. They let you in.
Greetings, friends.
I'll just let him know, like, we understand that the prince and the emperor are probably at the Hagos Komnenos, but we were just going to wait for him so we could report.
We can go wait in the library. We can go look through the library while we wait.
Would we be allowed access to the library if it was for the purpose of the mission?
Are you speaking? Who are you speaking to? Are you speaking to one of the guards? Or are you speaking
The guards, one of the guards on the outside. Yeah.
He taps his spear on the ground and sort of turns toward the entrance to the palace, and the doors open and a servant walks out.
Oh, lovely.
If you wish to seek an audience with the prince, he is currently in mourning at the Hagos Komnenos.
No,
Would you
we understand. Yes.
Do you desire to wait here for his return?
We will wait if that is all right. But we were also wondering, in the meantime, if we could peruse the library, particularly the historical accounts, in
Of
the
the
efforts
city.
to try and research some of the things that we've been trying to figure out.
Very well. This way. He
Thank
turns
you,
on his
kindly.
heel and leads you into the palace.
I'll follow.
I like a good member of the proletariat.
So he leads you in through the throne room, off to one of the side doors, through a series of hallways, and into a large space, high vaulted ceilings, shelves that stand 40, 50 feet tall. It is a large space with balconies on the sides, so that you can access the shelves without a ladder, or so that you can access parts of the shelves without needing to use a ridiculously tall ladder.
Would they be using books at this point, or would it still be mostly scrolls?
There's a decent combination of both. As you enter the main atrium of the library, you passed several sort of cells of scribes that were working diligently to transfer works from the older scrolls into newer bound books,
It's just hundreds of kinkus.
modernizing the library and preserving its contents. The center of the space, at the center of the space, stands a large brazier suspended so that it is just above the second level, and it burns with a brilliant magnificence. No fire that you've ever seen glows this white. It is a very pure light that emanates and fills the space. There are several brass mirrors that stand that reflect the light around and almost act as spotlights in a way, to direct the light to where one might need it.
So is it like Dewey Decimal System, or are we just guessing here?
Could always ask one of the scribes, or if there's someone more specific that you usually ask.
Yeah, you mentioned the historical section, so the steward leads you through this space, and he stops at one of these massive shelves and says, This shelf contains all of the historical records of note that we have.
Lovely.
If you had a more specific query, I could narrow your search.
We are looking for... It's not very specific, but an organization of assassins that has been around for quite some time. I would say at least 100 years, based off of the discussion we had with someone, and they would be located around the docks. Unfortunately, I wish I had more to go off of, but I don't.
Even just the history of Orcs Opal would be great.
Yeah.
Histories of the city. And he disappears down this long shelf, and he is regarding these different scrolls and turns, and finally his eyes come to rest on a series of thick leather-bound books, and he pulls out two of them and stacks them one on top of the other and walks back. This would be the extent of our records on such things.
Would you happen to have any historical books on attempted assassinations on other royal family emperors, whether in the history of the empire, and also any books on known assassin factions within the empire as well?
Oh, or religious occults. This could be a religious thing.
Also,
the,
any
com-
books on any cults located within the city?
the compendium of lineages, perhaps, and he disappears back down the thing and comes back with a scroll this time. Big ol' scroll in a case that is clasped at both ends with metal and bears the royal seal.
Lovely.
Is there any way we could read these? We don't want to just take them away, obviously, considering the history.
But of course, he leads you back up a flight of stairs to the balcony area, which, in addition to the light from the braziers, also has several skylights shining down on tables that are strategically placed so as to intercept as much of the light as possible.
Hmm.
Interesting. Okay, we can wait for the prince here, and we'll scour through these.
Yeah, in the meantime, never hurts.
Very good. And the steward, or not the steward, but the servant walks away.
Nick, can you read?
I read all right. Never been a great skill of mine, but I can read.
I'm assuming Torgan can. He's always carrying those damn books. All right.
I would imagine so, yeah.
So we have 3 books or 2 books and a scroll.
2 books and a scroll, and they are big books.
I'd like to take one of the books.
I'll take the
Okay.
scroll, I guess. The compendium of lineages.
Yeah,
I
so
have
the
pretty
scroll-
good intelligence skills too, so I think I'll take the last book as well.
The scroll is the history of all of the rulers that have lived at first ruling just the Isle of Mythos and then the larger Comnanet Empire when it shifted.
Yeah.
Let's see. The other book, one of the books is a compendium of all of the known registered guilds and organizations that
They're in the fucking
have existed, and currently exist within the city.
It's the fucking yellow pages.
So
boys.
it's a registration book basically.
It's a registration book, and the third is
It wouldn't be that one.
It might be. No, it honestly might be. It's old
I
enough.
doubt it.
They might have
and
been
the-
straight at one point. It might have been like legal.
the third is a general history of Orcs Opal.
Quick
Okay.
question, this is a little off topic, but on the map, is all of the stuff in red what would be the Comnenite Empire?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So they own that tip of Demos and a shit ton of Altos because they're warring fucking Mongols taking over the world for some reason.
Yeah, they are currently in a war. They have been in war.
Isn't there a
expansion.
truce, right?
Yeah, well, there's a truce with the Osmanic or the what?
Osmanic Empire.
There's a truce with there. Yeah. There is a truce. God damn it! There's a truce.
The Jorna's truth.
There is a truce with the Osmanic Dominion. Yeah, but the Empire is still currently at war with the Cog Confederacy and with the Torque tribes.
Oh, I see.
Okay, can we like read through these and make some kind of like historical check or?
Yeah. So, all of the people who are reading books, so I think that's Anthemius, Torgan, and Boyce,
We'll take the
make
books.
history checks.
Cool.
Actually, history or investigation. You pick.
I'm not proficient either.
And I got 16 total.
They're the same thing for me. Just intelligence.
All right.
8.
I got
I'll
8.
put it in general since we
Oh,
just
wait,
all
no,
did a
I
bunch of
got-
stuff.
Yeah.
I got 7.
7, 8, 8. So, Boyce, you had. I don't remember what you had.
I had the general
Guilds.
history of- Oh, I had
Yes.
guilds? Okay, I'll take it.
Or I thought, or no, didn't you have the history of Orcs Opal?
I
Jake
took
had
whichever book Torgan didn't take.
Torgan had the guild. Yeah, so you
Okay,
have the
so I
history.
must have had histories. Yes. History of the
So-
Opal.
The histories, there are some. It is a dense read. There's a lot of who did what when, and not a whole lot of embellishment in that regard. It is a strictly
The prose is so pedestrian.
yeah, it is strictly record keeping text. There
It's like a log.
there aren't really at first there aren't very many mentions of individual organizations. Just more broad strokes. When the city was founded, who founded it, why it was founded, times of growth, times of strife, stuff like that.
This is so boring.
Mhm.
Eventually you come to round about the middle of the book.
W be praised, I guess.
And no mention here has been made of really anything that would be considered helpful. You now know you now have an intricate understanding of the city's sewer system.
Ooh.
That
That's
may
useful.
come in handy.
That's super
like,
useful.
Write that down.
Yeah,
What's
that's
actually
really good.
You know precisely how many pogroms there have been against the lizard folk and exactly why each one began.
That's actually really important too.
Sewer
We
ones
can
is
clean
more
up the
important, in my
neighborhood,
opinion.
guys. We can gentrify it properly.
No, that could help you with like a persuasion or like something like that. You can kind of sympathize and know exactly what their history is.
I know our market now. We can sell to these people.
Oh,
Oh.
We're gonna make capitalist gains off of the racial tension.
And Themius, the compendium of rulers is
I got jack shit, didn't I?
it's equally dense. It's a lot of you remember Game of Thrones, how it's just kind of like Robert Baratheon, Black and
Yeah.
Bear. It's that. It is essentially just
male dung or stretched out
yeah.
the
It's
breeze.
who they were, what they looked like, whether or not they did anything notable, when they died, how they died. Now, how they died, there, once again, no explicit mentions that you can find of assassinations have been made, but there are references in the past to untimely demise rather than any sort of natural cause.
Interesting.
There were a total of 3 rulers killed in that way across the ages. The others having been killed either in battle or of some sort of natural cause.
I see.
Now, Torgen.
can I also say I was looking for something about menagerie? That's it.
Looking for something about menagerie.
Specifically,
really
and then I rolled a 7, so I don't know if I could follow that. I might just fall asleep.
This book, honestly, probably the densest of all of them. It's a lot of
Of course it is.
trade organization and other trade organization. They entered a deal and
It's a
merged.
business merger after business merger.
Yes, business merger after business merger.
It's how AT&T now owns all of Oryx Opal.
Except the scale district. Fuck the scalies.
It looks like the
That's very nice.
Apollonia Zonaris trading syndicate at one point, about 50 years prior, had a monopoly before it was broken up by order of the emperor.
Too much money.
Other than that, this is registered organizations. There is nothing here about
That's what I thought.
there's nothing here about crime in any capacity.
I just like to kind of tilt my head down and close the book on my beak. It's like defeated.
So, going through these texts takes some time, obviously. You can't just thumb through a giant freaking book covering hundreds of years, or a giant scroll even covering hundreds of years of history. So, by the time you finish, it is getting to be probably 3-4 in the afternoon. And at this point, Torgen, you are roused from your half sleep stupor by once again the bells of the Hagos Komnenos ringing.
Alright, I'd close the book, set it back down where the scholar placed it, and I'd like
Nothing
to stand
down.
up.
Nick, what have you been doing in this time? Because you didn't have a book to read.
Just twiddling my thumbs. Literally,
He's like-
I'm just
it's like-
imagining
like
my
jump
characters
cuts
there,
where
like,
he's just like throwing little paper airplanes, making like
No.
trash like basketball.
I literally just imagine my character this whole time, like, sitting with, like, my feet resting up on a table, just chewing on, like, a piece of weed or some shit that I just so happen to find in my pocket. Like, just
Hmm.
letting
Just look
everyone
like
do
a
their thing.
pumpkin.
Yeah, that works. So you sort of rouse yourselves from the stretch a bit from these tables. It's benches, so unfortunately there are no backs to these chairs.
I got bird bones, they're light, I'm fine.
Yep.
Bird brain.
No, my brain's pretty
So
big.
at Anthemius, it is now about 3 or 4 in the afternoon. The bells of the Hagos Komnenos have rung, signifying the end of sort of the open wake for the steward. You know, from a life in the city that the procession then will accompany the wake down the Avenue of Kings and eventually deposit the body in the sea.
Strange way to bury.
It is. It's
I don't think we're gonna
tradition.
be able to get a council with the prince at this time. Seems a bit tied up.
I guess not.
But you know who we can probably get a council with?
Who?
The first mate.
I suppose. I mean, what other options do we have at this point?
I found jack shit in this
Oh.
book, unless you want to know where all the shit's going in this city.
Yeah, I'm not doing much better either, unless you want to know how
Or
many
Scaly's
emperors
don't know.
shat themselves to death.
I made a mistake. The steward is actually going to be interred within the cathedral.
Oh, okay. Tomb.
Yes.
Are normies put out in the sea?
That's where Bolson is now. Bolson's naked, floating on a fucking raft in the sea. R.I.P. Bolson.
He's too dense, he'd sink.
Damn.
Alright, let's get to the ship then.
Oh,
Or
the ship.
we should probably wait until nightfall. Best way to
I'm
catch
not-
the captain.
But you're not waiting for
don't-
the emperor or for the prince?
Will he be?
It just-
It doesn't
Oh,
seem
but we're just wondering, like, would it be much longer at this point? Because if it just seems like he's not going to be coming back to the crib tonight, then
No, he is. He is. So
Oh, okay.
once again, yeah, the bells rung and that signified the end of the.
Oh.
Yeah.
okay. I
So-
thought that meant like move on to the next phase of mourning or something.
He might. I mean, he might linger for a little bit, just because royal privilege allows him to be alone. But he should be on his way back.
Okay.
I see.
Let's go and try and intercept him. I guess. I don't know. I don't think there's much else we can learn in this library. It's
Just,
just
just
got
wait
these
for him in
dusty
the
old
throne
books.
room, I guess. I imagine that's where he'll probably be.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So you reconvene in the throne room and wait for a little while longer, and then eventually the doors open, and a brace of about 10 Forosh Dracos enter, followed by a circle of about 20 of them surrounding Emperor Jan, now walking with a cane, and his son, the prince. And they are tailed by another 10 Forosh Dracos.
Anthemius will do his thing. He'll bow.
Yep. They enter the
Release
room.
authority.
The Forosh Dracos return to their positions. The Emperor limps over to you, and regards you all as a group. You've done us a great service. I was not able to properly thank you due to my delicate condition, but you have saved my life, and for that I will never truly be able to repay you.
The honor was all ours, Your Majesty.
Oh, please. This is no place for flattery. There's work to be done. Now,
No, yes, of course, of course.
Andreas tells me that you've been doing some investigation into this dastardly plot.
As much as we can with the limited information that we already have. We talked to the man who probably goes by the name Yosus, who seemed to have a connection with the assassins who were sent after you, and also, I don't know if your son informed you, but also the men who were sent after Bolsan.
Bold, who is
The
this?
dwarf.
Ah,
Yes, and we talked to him today, and he seems all kinds of suspicious. He appeared as a lizard folk, but it became very clear that he probably is not one, using some kind of disguise spell. Also, he doesn't have a Komnanite or lizard folk accent.
Or Osmani accent.
Yes, are you sure it wasn't Osmani?
Positive it wasn't Osmani.
Yes, so
So
there's that.
for clarification, boys, it did not sound like Osmani because it was, I guess, muddled is the best word. It was
More guttural.
more guttural and more,
Russian.
I suppose, yeah. But you would know that Yosus is a pretty distinctly Osmani name for what it's
Yeah,
worth.
Yosus is a very Osmani name. I knew like 3 Yosus on my block growing up. Like, oh my god.
Yes, Andreas tells me that you don't think that this is any official plot to break the peace, but we simply cannot be sure. That is why I've had to take such drastic measures.
Yes. There was perhaps one thing you could do to aid us in trying to get some information. There's a crew of a ship called the
Wind Maiden.
Wind Maiden with a captain by the name of Han Toktan. And
Serhan.
Serhan, I don't know why the hell I had Toktan.
Well, no,
Serhan
it's
Torok?
Serhan Toktan.
Oh, I thought it was Sir Han. I was like, what? Alright.
Sir Han Solo.
But yes, there's a captain on the ship by the name of Serhan Toktan, and we believe he may have information that could compromise or at least give us more insights into Yosus's dealings. And Yosus, after having gained some suspicion of us, wishes for us to dispose of them. We would rather try and interrogate them and get information out of them. The only issue is that becomes a tricky situation. So we were thinking, what if... This is more my plan, I will take full responsibility for it if it sounds completely absurd. But in order for us to be able to interrogate the members of that crew, specifically Serhan himself, we need to get them into custody, and if we do that, Yosus will be suspicious immediately. So what if you were able to flex your imperial muscles and make it seem routine, as if you were the ones to capture him? I know that sounds suspicious after we just discussed this with the man, but the way we could try and hide our tracks would be to arrest every single captain and crewmate of every single Osmanic ship in Oryxopol.
That is a drastic step.
It is, but it's the only way we can hide our trail.
You understand this would have me doubling back on my word. I promised these traitors 2 days to leave in peace.
It would, I understand that. It's a very delicate diplomatic situation, I have no doubt. But
what if... Now that promise also came with the threat. If they breached the curfew established by the last decree, that would be grounds for an arrest.
That is possible. Whatever you would be able to do within reason, of course. I mean,
that is what you must do. Draw them to shore. Give my guards a reason to have them in custody.
All right, we can figure it out. We can figure it out. We have 2 days. We can do something.
Hmm.
Hmm. It sounds like we have a stick, but why not a carrot? What if we offer them a royal procession and then we pose as the royal procession, thanking them for their years of training service, and then we can see if we can get this man drunk as a skunk and get some information out of him.
That is one option, yes.
Excuse me, boys, may you say that again?
We
We.
offer them, we
Yes.
collectively, pose as a royal procession on behalf of the king to thank him for his service. We get him drunk, we carouse a bit, right? And then, shit goes sideways, we arrest him.
You don't think anyone unknowing of our real situation may see that as awfully suspicious?
What if we...
What sort of royal procession includes a satyr and a kenku?
The best of kind.
Well, what if instead we were to drop off a letter containing information that Yosus knows that Serhan plans to leave. We send this to Serhan himself, and that he wants him dead. We pose as some anonymous letter writer, whatever, informant, whatever you want to call it. And we say to him that his entire crew, or at least most of it, is ready to betray him and kill him so they may leave freely, without the threat of Yosus coming after them. If that were the case, there is the chance that Yosus or Serhan would take his chances by leaving the boat and trying to hide somewhere in the city.
Hmm.
It would have to be an awfully convincing letter, but...
But this Yosus, he wanted all of them dead, did he not?
He did, but if
If you-
Yosus doesn't
if you were-
know why Serhan would leave the ship, would it matter if he was taken into custody? Would we be the ones to take the blame, per se, if he never knew?
No, but I don't think that would be the issue. What becomes of the crew if they escape with their lives? Yosus may not trust you. Am I correct in assuming that he wanted the entire crew dead?
Yes, that is an issue.
And the ship sunk.
So these ships wouldn't be using cannons, right? Like, that would be way too fucking... Gunpowder is not in the equation. Okay.
No.
Oh, they have fucking magic. That was just fireball.
Was it true
Your
that he
average
wanted...
your average sailor is not adept in the arcane arts.
Didn't he want an eye for an eye? 5 for 5.
Well, he gave us a bargain. He was just gonna kill us.
Okay.
It's quite a deal, if you ask me.
How the hell do we get them off the ship? That's the question.
What about
Hmm.
make the ship unsafe, perhaps?
We could burn it, but wouldn't that make us prime suspects? All of a
No,
sudden,
don't
ship
burn it.
goes ablaze.
Don't burn the
That's not-
ship. If
Not
you
if
play
nobody's
this
telling
right,
you to do it.
the ship could become something advantageous to our party.
Fucking
The issue
Assassin's Creed Black
the-
Flag.
The issue, okay, here's my question. Are the ships that are docked, are they usually right next to each other, or at least in close proximity?
Each
We're
port
gonna
has its own berth.
Oh, I'm on fire.
It would be unlikely that a blaze would spread from one to the other. The harbor was designed to prevent just that. Or indeed to the city.
Would there be an exception to that rule anywhere? Any location in the city, if you told the ships to move somewhere else?
Hmm.
This is some fucking Lusitania shit.
If we burn one ship, that looks suspicious. If we burn 5 or 6 out of a
Fuck.
random fire that was an act of God, then it looks a little less suspicious. And that gets everyone off of the ship, which means they could be arrested for breaking curfew. It wouldn't be ideal, but...
Bro, that's some fucking shady shit. Like, their ship's burning,
Yeah.
so they literally have to get off the ship, and then they're all arrested.
Yeah, it's like
Bro.
basically it's like burning one ship is too sus. We gotta burn multiple and arrest everyone.
Like, what is that? Like
Who-
200 people? Like,
Who are you trying to?
I'm asking the
Who-
Emperor,
who-
like,
who-
would he be able to move the ship somewhere where they could be in a position that they would be more likely to burn?
Hmm. I'm not sure.
You could say it's for inspection.
Maybe. But wouldn't that look suspicious on our part? Move the ships for inspection and they all burn?
Well, my
I
plan.
would think that one ship bursting into flame would be less suspicious than several. One drunken sailor and one mistake is all it would take.
So it sounds like we get the sailors drunk and have them burn their own ship.
how much of those bottles of wine did we have left?
Wine
many
isn't high
caskets
enough
was
proof,
left?
I believe.
Not
At
for
least
a
not
sailor.
high enough to burn.
Did we
You have a big old barrel of it. It was
did we ever check the amber colored wine? Like medicine check to see if it was poisoned?
I think it's all safe. It's Bull Sun's ship. He didn't seem like he was mixing poison in wine.
If I remember correctly, I think we only tested the purple.
He didn't want to open the rest of it. It was worth money.
yeah.
But the king
But-
could provide us with some hard
You-
fucking sea moonshine and
You are you are right, Nick, in that
Because basically,
there was there was an amberish liquid. It didn't look like wine.
no, I didn't think we tested it. I thought our attempts failed if we did.
We did not, but just outwardly it doesn't look like wine.
Well, basically, what I'm thinking is perhaps we could get everyone drunk and poison the alcohol.
Oh,
that's a possibility.
We could also just try giving them a job offer that they wouldn't want to refuse, make the money so exorbitantly high that they'd be willing to take the risk.
Yeah, sailors would do it.
Trying
Why
to move
does
some shipment from
the
land
whole-
to sea.
crew have to die.
We're not saying the whole crew has to die, we're just saying we need multiple members of the crew, including the captain, to get off of the ship. I don't know where the poison thing came out of. That was completely uncalled for.
No one there should lose their life.
Well, we don't know
From
them personally
this
yet. I mean, they might be
mission.
assholes
Excuse
or-
me,
or
Torgan, but I
rapists.
want the boat.
We don't know if they smoked weed once, or maybe if they I don't know, ever posted a picture with them holding a gun.
I can say right now, at least for speaking for Serhan, he is not a good man.
All right,
And-
that makes it a little bit easier.
You would know, Anthemius, that he wouldn't. Serhan had a good thing going. If he has become the captain of a new ship, that's a promotion. That's like
You were so good at what you did before.
you're so good at what you did before. Here's your own ship. Do more.
Yeah. Alright.
And it's clear, given that they are dealing with Yosus in the first place, that these guys are shady.
Alright. Well,
Our satyr friend can play play some music. We carouse with them on the king's orders, and then the ship just goes up in flames for whatever reason.
the flames isn't bad. The only issue is we just talked to Yosus about trying to kill the crew, and if the ship happens to go up in flames right after this discussion, that's kind of a problem, isn't it?
It depends. We'll have to see if Yusuf believes it. Maybe we'll get some information on him that would be more valuable than Yusuf himself.
Well, wouldn't it be less suspicious if we just offered them a job?
We could do that as well.
Convince them to
Seems
leave
like we
the
have a lot of
ship?
contingency plans.
I just think burning the ship shouldn't be our first option. It's
I don't
That
think
could
we
be
should
plan
burn the
C.
ship. I think
I
that should be
don't-
the last plan. Definitely the last plan.
Torgan, before when he was talking about like the poisoning and stuff, he is openly against anything that could lead to, like, they might be bad people, but they haven't committed any crimes.
So
As
yeah,
we
to
know-
clarify everyone's
And
intentions.
Anthemius, do you share what you know about Serhan?
yeah, I was just gonna say, as far as I'm concerned, speaking for Serhan at least, we are talking about actual scum here, a man who is willing to do anything. He does it for pleasure, but also for coin. I knew him personally as a man who dealt in slaves. And I feel like that would be the primary motivator here, if we wanted him to try and move something. Slaves are expensive, especially trying to move them out of this city, which is so well guarded. If we offered them an exorbitant amount of money to take a shipment of slaves, only a few, with them back somewhere, we could have that arranged back to the Osmanic Empire. We could lure them. Also, they would happen to also be pirates. At least in the past they were. I don't know if that's the case anymore, but...
Doesn't sound like we can figure it out here.
Sorry, my brain is like melted right now.
I'd like to clarify everyone's intentions in this situation.
Like,
I see Torgan. You want to go first? I know you started to started to
Yeah.
explain, but
is this in character? Or
yeah,
I'd say
well,
out of
both.
character just to sum
In
up.
and out
Yeah,
of whatever.
It's
I want,
out of character what everyone is kind of wanting to do here.
but also I kind of want our characters to know. Like,
well, my intentions I can say in character. It's really short.
I mean, you don't have to speak with your voice. Just
Okay. Well, no one here or no one in this mission should be hurt.
okay.
In my mind,
Are
they
you
shouldn't have
saying-
to be. Like pacifist, we could just go into this and not with no plans of hurting any of the crew or the captain.
Okay, but we need
Yeah.
little wizard man to think
I see it
that
as
we
it's a bunch
did
of slavers.
away with them, right?
It's a bunch of slavers, and we need to get information out of them. So we try our best to get information out of them, and we just roll with it from there. We don't necessarily have to burn down the ship. That can be last plan.
So wait,
but-
you're saying get on? We want to get in direct contact with them and get
Yeah, I wanna
information
talk
from
to
them about.
definitely want to talk
Wizard
to them. I
Man.
don't care if we're aggressive.
Okay, I agree with that.
They're slavers, so
We have
More- it
alcohol.
feels W's on our side with this one, boys.
I'll just ask the Emperor real quick.
Yes. I'm gonna switch to Balgriff. Yes.
If we knew they were pirates, if we had
No,
witnesses-
I will not stand idly by while a dragon burns my
Oh
home.
my god, that's actually really good, dude. That was really good, not gonna
My
lie.
people.
if we knew someone who could confirm that these people are pirates, would that be enough to arrest them? On the ship as well. Especially if they were slavers and they'd previously sunk come to night ships.
That would not just be grounds for arrest. That would be grounds for execution.
Alright, well, I for
Ooh.
one can attest as a
will
witness
take that
along with
warrant.
one of my friends down at the docks that they are pirates, they are slavers, and I was on a ship that went down about 2 years ago. Serhan happened to be on that ship, and if his crew with him as some of his trusted colleagues, then I would assume they were also on that ship. It was a regular wine transport meant for, is it Altos, which is like the mainland empire?
Yeah.
Okay. Meant for Altos. It was supposed to be a regular shipment, but Serhan and another captain by the name of Mazoon at the time took the ship down, took me and multiple other people as slaves. I ended up in the Cog Empire and only recently arrived back. Speaking personally, I can attest that they are pirates and slavers. Serhan, at least. I have another friend back at the... What was the other one? Something the Barnacle?
Was it the Drunken Barnacle? I think.
There's another friend I have at the Drunken
yeah.
Barnacle who can also attest because he was on that ship as well. I don't have any records with any of my other past crewmates. They've all been lost. I've been trying to track them down, but with no luck. But you have two of us.
And Themius, you've helped us this far. Your word is enough for me. If you say these men are pirates, I will believe you.
Then let's
And-
do it.
On the rare case that the interests of the underworld align with the interests of the divine, I think you should kill these men.
I think W is cool with it too. But I don't know. He works in weird ways.
Chimera's justice will fall. He eyes you boys, and then he kind of returns. Chimera's justice will swiftly befall them, and you shall be the instruments of this justice.
So is he recommending we kill them instead of the guards?
Yeah,
Just
he's basically.
That sounds like a
the
fucking
Emperor-
warrant.
The Emperor has heard that they are pirates, and he's like, fucking kill them
I know
all.
he wants them to be executed, but I figured they would be a little more professional about it. Instead of having us.
We still need
Yeah.
Serhan alive if we're gonna be able to get any information off of him about Yosus, though.
Well, we can
Also,
take
I
care
mean,
of
we could
What if
just
I have 50 feet of rope.
interrogate him before we execute him.
you were to take the ship but take Serhan alive?
that. Easy.
Glean what you need to glean from him, and then, well,
No offense, my liege, but 4 people against an entire ship crew is going to be rather difficult.
I
you've
agree.
proven yourself to be quite capable.
No, I must
Yeah.
insist, sir. I think,
Would we not
We
be
could-
able to get any support from the Empire itself through... He looks around at all of the guards.
yeah,
Would you be able to spare any of your men?
What
I beg you for
what
the
would you
assistance.
have me do if
Raid
I
the
send
ship.
a-
Say it's
if-
on my orders. I don't mind taking the blame for it.
But if I send, would this criminal not know then that you are in league with the crown?
That's important.
Must your guards be dressed as royal guards?
Yeah, but they're dragonborn, aren't they?
Oh, are they all? Damn.
I think
The-
that's just the
Or
Dracons.
were you looking at
The
the?
four Ostrakos are. The city watch wouldn't be.
I was thinking he was talking about the. I thought some of them were still hanging around.
Oh, they are.
I was
Okay.
thinking they could be disguised as hired arm, like, or hired,
Perhaps. What if I were to assign you a detachment of the city watch? We dress them in plain clothes and make it seem like some sort of crime of passion against the Osmani.
Alright, seems fair. And a rowboat.
I
We
like
can
it.
get out to their ship.
Naturally.
All we need is Serhan, the rest I don't care.
Lovely.
Very well. I will muster a detachment of my best men.
Alright, we should do it tonight.
With haste.
agreed.
Go forth then. With my blessing. Twins preserve you.
I steeple my hands and kiss his ring up.
I want my cloak. I don't get it.
Oh my god, that makes no difference right now.
You'll get it.
We'll get it tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
but
make
if
some
we're gonna do the
progress.
thing tonight, I
Yeah,
don't want to die without my sick cloak.
I hope you do now. I hope you do.
Not gonna die.
I'm not resing anyway. Fuck you.
Yeah, come on. I mean, there's
I'll bury you
so
in that
much
fucking cloak.
more that will probably most likely be done before you die. Like, you'll be
Once
fine if you do some shit one night and then get your cloak. Like, I don't know.
A bunch of burly guards and a well-dressed Kenku.
Yeah.
Let's do it, fam.
All right.
So you don't want to get blood on your new pimp coat. I mean, come on.
At this point, I will say that it is 11:40 p.m. I know we talked about stopping at midnight.
That's kind of why I was also. It's like, wow, it's late. You guys want it to be done.
Yeah, I'm
soon.
thinking because I mean,
Yeah.
if you guys are going to storm the ship, that's going to be a pretty long encounter.
That'll be like as long as today plus shopping.
So I think we will. Why don't we leave it on that cliffhanger? You've got a plan. You've got a good plan.
Yeah, preparing to
We're gonna call a lot of
storm the
fucking
ship.
city guards, aren't we?
Are we all on the same page? I would like to
Yeah.
acquire the ship.
I've noticed
I
that.
I literally have in my backstory under goals. Where is it? Wants to possibly own a ship if circumstances allow it.
That's what
Well,
I want to
I mean-
own the ship.
I mean,
And then we'll have a-
Yosus never said you had to burn the ship. He just said that an unfortunate accident might be a good way to get it done.
We're gonna ask the guys for a building, and we just found a dead dude in. Now we're gonna kill a bunch
Those
of
bodies
crew
are still in
people
there.
and a captain and take the ship.
Dude, the pirates don't need them.
Okay,
They're
that's
not
what
even
we
pirates,
said
they're
about
slavers.
Bolson.
If I knew they
and
were
Bolson.
slavers from the get-go, I would have been like, yeah, let's just go fuck those guys up.
Well, okay.
Yeah, see, I didn't want to run off that assumption. I wasn't sure that they were all pirates or slavers, but then Ben just straight up told me.
Sometimes the gods work in mysterious ways.
The Lord works in such a strange way these days.
If
I
they
think
truly
you
are
know,
that
God tells
disgusting
you
of
what to do, you
people,
just
I
do
don't
it.
think Torgan has an issue.
They are pirates, murderers, and rapists through and through.
Okay, so like Japan in World War II a little bit.
I
I
mean,
mean,
we
You
all
could just
have a
say
little bit of
pirates,
Japan in
murders,
us.
and-
The United States and Vietnam.
I suppose
Did someone say My Lai Massacre? I
it
heard
wouldn't.
My Lai Massacre.
China.
China,
Hey,
just
man.
China, just China always. There's not a historical period you draw from. It's China
I
default.
information.
So wait, Nick, have you been like archiving these as videos?
Oh, I didn't even stop the recording yet, but I only
Just
recorded
we
this
should-
session
we
and the last
post
session.
them on like a group channel.
There were some really good bits in this
Cool.
one, especially. I really liked the menagerie scene. The whole thing was really good.
I'm glad. I was thinking it was like, I mean, you got to have the mob boss scene, but like, how do you? What's
Yeah,
a
how
good
do
way to
you
do
force
it?
it?
Oh yeah,
mafioso.
magic.
Oh yeah, magic it. Yeah.
Yeah, as soon as he looked under the wine, I was like, fuck. Fug.
As
Shit.
Yeah.
soon as you
Oh.
gave him the wine, I'm like, dude, that shit's gotta have a label.
Oh my god.
I thought it was just good
The
on
whole
the
point
front.
of it was that it was an unlabeled bottle, and that's why we didn't even know what it was fucking wine.
Dude, it just
And
it's
then it had
under,
just like a fucking barcode cereal
Under-
underneath it.
under the bottle. It literally says "Property of Bolson." If anyone else has it, somebody killed me.
Also,
Oh
Bolson
my
bought this 2
God.
days ago, so it makes no sense that they say they bought it longer ago.
Bro, Anthemius sus. Vote him
Anthemius
off.
starts vote him off.
Dude, I love how it was just
happened.
like I was able to get like the initial persuasion off, and then I just fucked it up with the wine.
I know. Oh man. I like
Either
how
way,
this one,
we
this one
do-
doesn't have gunpowder, but they can serialize bottles, so you know exactly what day they'd be.
Dude, it's the gods, man. They imprint
gods,
every bottle
man,
with
they-
a maker's mark.
Fucking
they
W,
work
man.
in- W works in mysterious ways, man.
Sure does, man.
I was gonna ask actually, how did you make the map, Sebastian?
I made it in GIMP. I just traced over Jake's original drawing, because he just had a bit more complete of a map, I guess. I don't know. It extended a bit further up and down, so I
You gotta
traced
teach
over
me
that
how to do that, man, because I've used GIMP to make digital maps before, and they do not look as good as that.
one. And then I used a couple filters and stuff and layered those. And
Yeah,
it
'cause,
took
like,
a second, but I've been
What
making maps
brush
for a
set
class
did you
now.
use for the mountains? Because the one I used did not look like that.
I didn't use a brush actually. I hand drew them.
Holy
hand drew them.
shit.
I made really tiny pixels and I hand drew all the mountains.
Oh my god, that must have taken you forever.
Dude.
It did take quite a while, but I had nothing else going on. I was just listening to podcasts, drawing mountains.
Holy
Dedication.
cow, dude.
That's some
Yeah.
dedication.
I like
You know,
maps and I like
that-
world building. So.
That makes me so fucking happy because I'm just here looking at my D&D book and it's like my hand-drawn version and I'm looking at my screen and there's like an actual fucking map.
I know.
made
I
of this
know.
place.
I
You
really
should
like
get it. You should get it printed as a poster.
I
like it.
will once this is done. I was kind of getting to that. I think so. I wanted to start, guys. I wanted to start a YouTube channel.
Oh my god.
Like
You
I'm
can
not
start
kidding.
one.
I've been wanting to make one personal, like a personal one.
Yeah.
But I was also thinking, what if we use these recordings, post those on there as episodes, and
If
then
you wanna-
whenever
if
we
you wanna
play
do the
games
editing.
together, we can just record it, and then if we get good stuff, we can just post it.
Yeah, I would say maybe when you start DMing, I'd be comfortable with
Yeah,
like
because
doing the recording, because then we're like
Because-
transitioning into like
Right,
Yeah, it'd be kind
right.
of weird if we recorded it like
Yeah.
halfway
Yeah, we
through
could we
the
could have
campaign.
episode or we could have season 1 or arc 1 recap, and it could be like an hour long of us literally going through the story.
That could work.
Yeah, you can do all sorts of stuff. You can add art to it. You can add all sorts of things. It's just a creative exercise. It's a lot of fun.
I do
I
wish.
wanna-
Speaking of that, Jake, I wish you were recording last night.
Oh man.
Dude,
we played some Halo and it was just wild.
What
By
are
the
we-
way,
what
I
were
do
we
gotta
do-
ask, do you guys have do you guys like keep notes of all, like
I keep very
individually?
specific things.
Okay.
I do.
Yeah.
I
I-
keep.
I had
I
a
could
feeling
start-
that Jaskrin did, just based
I
on
make-
certain dialogue that he would choose, like certain things he would choose to say. I'm like, I think he must have written down a note or something. Like,
I think I'm going
but
to.
you probably remember way
make
better
a-
than I do
a
anyway.
Notes page or like a notes section in my D&D book that I have.
Oh,
And
bad
once
idea.
we're done with this, I've got notes for each session that we could use to fill in the gaps.
Okay.
Yeah, my notes aren't super comprehensive. They're just there
Yeah,
to jump my
same.
memory
It'll just
every
be
now
like
and
I
then.
have like names, places, and yeah, just a little shit
Like
that.
a word or two here and there.
And sometimes I have like little
Bullet points
phrases that I
mostly.
want to
Yeah.
be able to say. Like
Mhm.
I'm like, oh, that was really cool that I thought of that. I'm gonna write that down, and it'll just be little shit like that.
Yeah.
So
I
nothing
will
ever.
say we are now 4 sessions in, and I want to kind of take a gauge. Like, how are you guys liking this?
I
I'm
love
liking
it. I don't
I'm
want it to
liking it a lot.
end.
I'm enjoying
Alright.
it.
I
like
really
it,
appreciate the praise, but like, do you guys, is there any stuff that I could be doing better? You guys
Oh,
think?
I think you're good.
All
I
right.
think
Yeah,
I'm a
honestly,
little
I
worried
feel
about
like
my
it's pretty well
character. I
placed.
feel like my character is like
Yeah.
becoming an alcoholic.
I feel like I'm definitely still learning how to play my character. Is like a big part of it, and I think we've gotten. I think this session was like definitely better than last session, and I don't know if it was better than the session before that. Like that's where it gets harder. But I know it's improved since last session. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
just the flow between characters and the way the story progressed felt way better.
The way
That's
I
good.
see it is, so long as you are interested in running it, I feel like
Yeah.
you have a solid campaign here.
I am. So this is the first. This is like the first long form campaign that I've done, and I'm really fucking enjoying it.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I think for me though as well, there's a lot of little things just as far as my lack of experience. It causes the immersion to be broken just because like when I have to ask
Mhm.
like, you know, this or that or
Yeah.
You get
That'll
used
come with
to it.
time.
or
Yeah,
things
we-
like
we- we
assisting
were all
someone in a
terrible.
check. Like I don't know why, but I kept thinking, wait, I thought you choose between like two people roll and then you choose the higher number or something like
I will say this.
I don't know, stuff like that. Just
Nick, that
really
is not.
annoying.
I will say that is not inherently wrong. Sometimes I need to kind of standardize how I do it, but sometimes the way I do advantage is both people roll and then you pick the higher result rather.
I
than
like
one
that
person
for an
rolls.
assistance, though. To be honest, I feel like that isn't that how it used to be in older editions, or has it always just been you give the other person 2 dice?
I got no idea.
I'd have to double check on that. I'll probably check.
We
it
can,
out
if
this week.
if you guys like that though, we can standardize that as the
Way of doing assistance.
yeah.
Yeah,
I will also say
but it should be something where like the first person.
I'm so sorry,
the
Jasgrin.
person who's being-
No, you're fine,
I'm
you're fine.
sorry,
No,
just
I
wanna
mean I
say-
feel like
you're
you're
good,
trying.
you're good.
Okay,
No,
okay.
the person who's being assisted, he can't know the other person's roll, unless he goes, yeah, that's too low. Let's do your roll. I think that would also be an interesting way of doing it.
Like, what do you mean?
Like if you rolled like an 11, you could be like, ooh, I don't know if that's too low, and then you could take the other person's roll. But if they rolled a fucking 3, you have to keep that roll.
Fuck.
Wouldn't that defeat the point? Wouldn't that be like, well, why the fuck are you helping me?
Yeah, I don't know about that. It feels
'Cause not all help is good
counterintuitive.
But
I don't
ideally-
know.
Ideally,
don't know about
unless you
that.
roll a 1, it shouldn't be like, oh, sorry, I accidentally kneecap you while we're trying to search for the enemy.
Like I appreciate what you're trying to do, but I feel like that shouldn't be the way it always is. Like
That's true.
I will also say, like, as far as rules go, Nick, like, it's not just you. Like, everyone, I feel like, for me at least, it took me a while to get like my
Yeah.
head around. Because 5th edition was one of my first ever like TTRPGs, but also like, I think the digital format certainly does not help.
Oh, it's awful.
Because-
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I
Okay.
can't whip out a book and show you a page.
He
or
said
anything like
TT.
that.
If digital has limitations. Doing this over like voice chat has limitations. I mean, it is
Yeah.
D&D is inherently a game that you get together and you do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember we were trying. I know not everyone has it, but we were trying to get like a whole tabletop simulator thing going because that game has a lot
That
of
game,
deep
yeah, actually
resources.
has quite a bit to it. Yeah.
And
Wait,
when
what
it
is
goes
it?
on sale, it's
I
like
own-
$5.
I own Tabletop Simulator. I don't know about everyone else.
I
How
do
much
as
is it?
well. Well, so it goes when it goes. It's normally $20, but you can get it for $5 when it's on sale. And I was reading a news article that said the Steam was going to be having a tabletop sale very soon,
Alright. We'll
which
keep an
means
eye out
I
for it.
assume that would be one of the one of the games that gets discounted.
Well,
can
let me
attempt-
know if you notice it's on sale, and I'll get it for cheap. I can't really spend a lot of money right now because
No, yeah, I would
That-
not
that is-
recommend paying
That is
full price
absolutely
for it.
valid. Yeah, it that checks out for what it is. I agree. Just wait for it to go on sale and then.
Yeah, it's quite a bit of fun. It's a fun little thing to do. You might already have it, Nick.
I
I
don't
feel like I
think
played
so.
tabletop with you before.
Yeah, like what? Though I don't know about that.
Like Cards Against Humanity, I felt like we played that on tabletop before.
I don't know.
Let me check my library and I'll see if you have it.
I feel like I don't. I don't know. I'm gonna look.
I've
it
played
up.
it with a lot of people, so it's very possible you don't. But yeah,
I
I do
will say the
want. I
nice
do
thing
want.
Mhm.
I do want to add more to the map and stuff, and more world building and all sorts of crazy kooky shit like that.
Yeah, if there are more
Sure.
locations that you've already thought of, and like,
Well, so that's not the way Jake and I did it. Is I have
Okay.
the south, he has the north. So you're gonna have to wait for his campaign to flesh out the rest.
Also,
okay.
Another thing is, I was thinking about this. So when me and Ben first looked at the map that I drew, I kind of left a gap in between the left and the right where it would wrap around. So Faye Bend actually, it looks kind of like Africa if you stick it on. like because
Oh,
Drotica connects to
right.
Fabend edge, like around the edge. But well, kind of looking at that, it doesn't seem right. Seems like I drew this map more with the mentality of half a hemisphere. So
I mean, usually I just do region maps. I rarely do like an entire like world
Continent.
map.
Yeah,
I just
what's-
find when you start in a region, it's really easy to expand out from there. So if like you decide to run like another campaign and you're like, it's in the same world, but it's in a different area, then
okay,
you can do that. Otherwise, if you present the entire world and you're like, there's 5 continents, these are all 5 of them, and you decide to run like campaign 2 or something like that, you're like, well, shit, I want to run like, I don't know, like an ancient Japanese style campaign, but none of these continents, when I first planned them out, have that.
yeah.
The players have explored this all.
To be fair,
Mm,
I think through interpretation from me to Ben, I think the world size actually shrunk a bit because these continents I drew in my head are huge, like colossal.
yeah, I was gonna say
Not like
I know
not
we've
like
tried to
equivalent
talk
to
about this.
like or the world like North America, South America, that size. They're all like Asia.
That yeah.
Okay, because I was trying to get an idea of the scale, because the way it feels to me is more like the Mediterranean, like
Yeah.
like it doesn't. It
Yeah.
feels very
But that's also
small
because of what we
scale, not
explored
even
so
a
far.
whole
Well,
hemisphere.
okay. To
Like
be
That's
fair,
also
we
because
are
we
on
haven't.
we are on one continent that's on the equator.
Yeah, we also
Oh.
haven't left Orxopal, like the entire.
Mhm.
I just mean like
So
the
that
map, like
could
the
be
scale
cool.
of the map, like
Okay.
like
think it's just
looking at it, it looks like a small. Even though I guess he added like some snow or something, like. To
I
me,
got
it
you.
doesn't feel like that's accurately, unless we live on like a tiny little planet. But like,
No,
I don't know.
Simple
It just
simple
seems hard.
solution. Just add a little scale thing in the corner of the thing that says like 1 square is this, or like
yeah.
1 inch is this distance.
So, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to try to draw another hemisphere if I have to. So Ben, if you already got your whole campaign flushed out, keep it good. But if you want to spread north, you have my blessing.
I feel like it can easily be like discovering a new world thing too. It's
Right.
Like just because of how, like yeah, like you said, like I don't know, maybe in the original drawings and scales and stuff, but this was one planet. But I don't know, just the way it projected and stuff like that, it didn't feel like just one planet. It definitely
Yeah, it felt
feels
more
like.
like a region. Like
And then
Yeah.
especially because of just like the number of countries alone, or like the number of nations,
Mhm.
it just feels a little bit smaller than that. It feels a lot more regional.
Yeah.
Which isn't bad. I think it's good. I think it leaves
Yeah.
a lot of open-ended room for us to be like, oh, there was a continent we didn't know about and shit like that.
Yeah, and for like
In the
later
future.
on, even if these characters die and shit, and it moves on to a new story, we could use the same world
That'd
and
be a
move on to
surprise.
a whole other area. Like
yeah.
if we keep it open
It's
like
just cool.
that.
Like this gives me more like either Greece or like Anatolia vibes. Just
Oh
based
yeah,
off
it's,
of kind of-
it's
I mean,
big
that,
and
Yeah.
that is explicitly what I was going for in the
Yeah.
field.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
just
very,
the way the
it's very
islands and the
simple in the
continents are
names
shaped.
and yeah, exactly. I added more islands too, all over the place. Like when I got bored, I put in an island.
Yeah, no, I think that makes it more realistic.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I put in islands, I put in rivers, I put in little things that shape the terrain. But you just always right around that. Like there's probably rivers smaller than the scale I projected to, because these are whole
Yeah.
continents. You wouldn't see all the rivers from a
Mhm.
continental view. And
Well,
same thing with
lads.
forests and stuff. Like
I think I'm gonna get off, lads. It's late, and I got a test
Sounds
tomorrow
good.
morning.
Yeah, good luck with
I know
that.
we have
Nighty
five.
night.
Yeah.
Don't let the bed bugs
See
bite.
ya, lads.
Good night.
Kiss,
I gotta
kiss.
figure out what I'm gonna do, dude.
You want to play a game?
No, I mean like DM.
Oh yeah.
You haven't thought about it a
Scared.
bunch? I figured you're
I
thinking about it all the
have.
time.
I have, and I do. I'm just trying to like. I think it will.
I don't even think you need
click.
to move continents or make new continents. Like, I think you can even reuse continents and atmospheres and stuff. But
Completely, because I'm sure we're not gonna go everywhere on each of these
oh no,
continents.
we never will.
No
It's
way.
impossible.
So we can always travel, but like, I just really am struggling to like try to make it seem really unique. Like I don't want to fall into like a
Yeah.
BBEG like specific stereotype, like oh he just wants to rule the world or something.
I think for your first time, don't be so hard on yourself. I think honestly, make it so you can have fun with it, and don't
Mhm.
worry too much about being super fucking unique because you haven't done this before. And just providing a good atmosphere and a good time, and we're all still kind of new to this party and stuff. Yeah, don't worry about overcomplicating it.
Like,
Pick up, and
we
like,
should
kind of like Ben
do-
did, where he picked a culture. You know, he just picked like some cultures he thought were cool, and he kind of like crammed them together. Do exactly that.
we
Do
should
it-
have
do it-
you
do it.
DM a one-off and do it that like, even
That
a
is-
couple times. Like,
That is very sound advice. Like
Yeah.
my first experience DMing was one shot.
why throw you into a big thing like we're doing now as your first time? If for you, maybe the pressure's too much because it's your first time. Maybe you just, what if it doesn't work right just because you don't have enough experience? Like, why
And we're
don't we do
also-
it one-off? That would be fun, and we could make throwaway characters for a one-off
Yeah.
session
We
for
also,
fun.
Yeah, we're all so full of character
Like,
ideas and world
yeah.
building ideas and stuff like that. We'd love to make characters, and it doesn't
We
even have to be
have-
like a traditional one-off. It can be like 2 or 3 sessions.
That's what I
Yeah,
was gonna say. We could have Jake do a Halloween one shot.
Oh, spooky D&D. It's it's a night curse that you have to break.
That could be it, or it could be I don't know. Yeah, it could be anything. Literally anything. That's I don't know.
It's
There's certain
spooky
tropes that all
season, you
story
gotta
writing
break
falls
the
into, but it
curse.
could be anything. Could just be the course of Torgen, and it's like 100 years in the future, and Torgen ruled the world for some reason, but none of us know why.
Torgen rebuked his patron and turned himself into a lich.
No,
Yeah.
Torgen loves his patron. Well, he doesn't love him, but
We don't
he's-
know. Like, he just wanted
loves Torgen.
Fist bump.
sexy bird on.
Because
bird
he
on
knows
Torgen's
in the
love.
end, when I die, he will crawl across my body and absorb my bones.
I want to incorporate a little mushroom religion so bad in my character, but I feel like I should have done that before I wrote my
You just
little
wrote it.
backstory. I know, but
The retcon is a powerful tool, and honestly, I wouldn't be too hard on like this is set in stone because I made it so, because this is literally your first character.
true. But I feel different about something like that. Like I get what you mean, but at the same time, I feel like that would influence so much of who my character has already been. Like
True.
it almost
Yeah, I get
changes who the character is to me. So it's like,
It doesn't need to change the character though. It could just be a backstory of like his race, and then his
Pistachio.
character's like kind of devoid of that.
Pistachio!
What?
I just hobbled over to Will's room and dumped a bunch of pistachios in his hand.
That's hot.
you blessed him, huh?
Bird person.
Because everyone could use a little bit of pistachio.
You're
We all
not.
go a little pistachio sometime.
In my life, a little bit of pistachio.
Oh my god.
Well, I am honestly, it makes me happy beyond measure that you guys are enjoying this.
Oh yeah, it's a
Yeah.
lot of fun. I think
Yeah.
it's a, like I said, it's a really great creative exercise to be doing, especially during like a pandemic and shit. So it's lit, litty titty. And yeah, we have. I mean, Nick's already building new characters and shit. Nick's got like 30 character ideas going on in his head, and
Yeah.
we don't build new characters and fuck around. And
For real.
Welcome to the curse. There
It's
are
fun.
so many character ideas in so little time.